Oh, hi, Mark. So why specifically project management and leadership?
Because that's what the book is about.
Why is the book about that?
It's a made-up tale.
The 7 sacred lessons from the School of Hard Knocks.
This one was invented by a writer.
I learned the hard way. Actually, it was a good learning experience.
It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
It's the Hard Knock University podcast, where real talk meets real lessons, and we all graduate with honors in the School of Life.
Wretched, isn't it?
Calling all musicians and industry pros. Do you want to turn your hard knocks into breakthroughs? Well, season 2 of the Hard Knock University podcast is proud to be sponsored by SMG Academy, the ultimate music industry mentorship platform founded by 20-year veteran Mark Sebi. SMG Academy delivers real-world training from touring strategies to publishing secrets straight from the trenches of the Texas music scene. Whether you're an artist, a manager, a songwriter, it doesn't matter. SMG's courses and community will fast-track your success. Are you ready to level up? Visit smgacademy.online and use code HKU2025 for 15% off of your enrollment. SMG Academy, where hustle meets harmony.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining the podcast. This is Hard Knock University, where we dive into movies and talk about the leadership and project management lessons that we can learn from them. Look, I gotta admit straight off the bat that I made a mistake early on when I started this little experiment. My beautiful wife sitting over here, Jennifer Caples, straight up told me, well, you got to do The Devil Wears Prada. And I'm like, fashion? I don't know fashion. You know, fashion's not my thing. So I didn't like write it off entirely, but I didn't jump on it. You know what I mean? And man, I was wrong. I should have jumped on it, because at the end of the day, this movie is not about fashion. This movie is like a psychological thriller where you follow this one person through this journey where where the job that she works at breaks her down, builds her back up, and she learns, you know, some things about herself. You know what I mean?
She through some pretty severe hard knocks.
There are some severe hard knocks. Yeah. And Jen, you were right, and I'm sorry.
Oh, that's my love language, telling me I'm right.
Joining us today on the podcast is my wife, Jennifer Caples. Of course, we've got my co-host, Seth Caples, and then his wife. Are we going by Trixie or Tracy?
Either one. I'm Trixie today.
It's Tracy Caples. We call her Trixie. On stage, I think it's Trixie Loca. If you're not following Trixie, you're missing out on an amazing vocalist. Jen is a elementary school teacher, and we're all very proud of her. There's hard knocks to be learned in that realm as well. 100%.
Shaping our new generation. Doing my best.
I've always said we should pay teachers like professional football players.
Yeah.
And we should draft them like we do them.
Yes.
You know,
I dig
you
that.
imagine? Jim Caples from, UTSA
Yeah.
goes to...
You're from Hard Knocks University.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All
right. So the movie is The Devil Wears Prada. It officially hit theaters June 30th, 2006, after first premiering at the LA Film Festival on June 22nd. And it premiered as the top movie that week. The number one song was Shakira's Hips Don't Lie, featuring Wyclef Jean, dominated the charts, peaking at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. I don't remember that song at all.
Oh, sure you did. If you heard it, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, probably. The top TV shows were CBS's CSI and NBC's Lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
a long time
Didn't
ago.
Lost end real dumb?
Yep. I never got
The
into it.
entire-
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So this was like early J.J. Abrams. He was dealing with a writer's strike like the entire time. They were trying to set up some cool stuff. The writer's strike happened, and they weren't able to kind of capitalize on it. And then they just kind of had to like wrap it up the best they could with what they had given us. And it starts out pretty strong, starts to get real weird, and ends weak. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
I didn't watch it.
Girl, what's the other one that ended real weak? It's like right up. Yes. And it started out real strong, and then
Another one I didn't
real
watch. By
weird.
the way.
I've never
I don't watch it
seen.
either.
I've never seen a single episode of The
I
Sopranos.
know that's on our list.
Oh,
Like
I
our
watched
ever
like
growing-
one or two
I'll
when it
watch it
first
one day.
came out, but yeah.
Okay. In major news, the U.S. was debating the intensified NSA warrantless surveillance policy. Now we're just used to being spied on 24/7, but at the time it was new and we did not like it.
Now it's just everyday life.
Yeah.
Now we carry it in our pockets, and it sends us ads to buy things.
And now we just talk to our phone so it gives us the right ad because we know it.
In tech and culture, the internet boom was in full swing. YouTube had just launched earlier in 2005, the year before. MySpace still led the social networking world, and Apple's iPhone was 1 year away from launching. Streaming was a niche thing for people with badass internet connections. DVDs and cable TV still ruled the home entertainment world. And fun facts: the Devil Wears Prada opened at $30.5 million domestic. Despite its cutthroat tone, media outlets quoted Anna Wintour dismissing her fictional likeness in the story, but she did attend the premiere wearing Prada anyway. The film would go on to gross over $326 million worldwide, becoming a defining fashion drama.
Did you know it took 57 days to film this movie?
That's it?
Swears.
I mean, that's what I heard. The research. And then 3 weeks for the final cut.
Wow.
I mean, talk about good project management.
Yeah.
Had to have taken some good
Yeah.
project management to accomplish that.
100%, yeah. I mean, I don't know how long it takes to make a movie, but
Do you know in your
57 days.
I know we've been waiting
Pretty
like
quick.
5 years for season 4 of Stranger Things. So.
in your research stuff, did they really go to Paris on location?
They only shot like 2 days or so in Paris.
Because okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine they
Yeah,
only
they're-
needed some exterior shots,
Yeah,
and
like
then from there they could have
scenery.
done everything else on a
That's
soundstage.
true.
Precisely.
I think that's how most of them do. Like they go there and they just shoot a bunch of scenery, and then everything else is done in studio. Most of the
Y'all
time.
know this is based on a book of the same name. And there's a
Yeah.
sequel book.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Called it's called Revenge Wears Prada.
Hmm.
But there's also a sequel to the movie in the works.
They're working on the sequel to the movie. I know that. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that Lauren Weisberger made a sequel book.
20 years
Right.
later.
That being said, yeah, Lauren Weisberger wrote it about Anna Wintour, who was the editor-in-chief at Vogue magazine.
Where
And
she worked.
While there are some parallels, Anna Wintour denies that she's anything like Miranda Priestly. But, I mean, at the end of the day, Anna built an empire, shaped global fashion, did it wearing heels, and she did wear Prada to the premiere of the movie. And when I do these podcasts, I always turn around and do leadership breakdowns, and I always look for a parable. I try to find somebody who I can compare these characters to in the real world, and I don't have to look far for this one, so that's a relief. This is going to be an easy one.
Yeah.
I better knock it out of the park. All right, anybody got anything else before we jump into the synopsis?
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit of music before we go.
Okay.
So Theodore Shapiro did he composed the score for the movie. Shapiro is a frequent collaborator with Ben Stiller and won the 2022 Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Music Composition for a series for his work on Ben Stiller's Severance. Hadn't seen it, but I'm really good at reading off of Wikipedia.
Right.
I mean,
I want to check out Severance. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it, but I'm not going to pay for Apple Plus. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
We
The moral
have
of
it. I
the
thought
story
we
is
got all
that
it.
Shapiro is outstanding. in
We're
this
not sharing.
His impact on this world is real.
Let's have to rent it.
The soundtrack's cool, and we'll talk about it a little bit throughout the movie. The soundtrack, just a little bit, we'll touch on some stuff. Ties into the movie really well. The opening credits. This is fun fact. This is my favorite fact of the movie. The opening credits, we hear Katie Tunstall's "Suddenly I See," right? Plays pretty much from front to back, basically giving Katie Tunstall a free music video with Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep in it.
I feel like you got to slow down when you say that because it's not Katie, it's KT.
Right.
KT Thompson.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, but
Yeah.
who, sorry.
Go ahead.
Who were those characters getting dressed at the beginning?
All the millions of girls that wanted the job. Yeah, because they touched on that like right off the bat. Like
They did.
they would, millions of girls would die for this position.
Good
she's
job
like,
picking up
okay.
on that.
Yeah.
It kind of showed how she stood out from the girls, I guess. Was the purpose of that?
Yeah,
That's what I think it was.
it's in my notes that it opens with all these different girls getting ready. And you really kind of get to see the contrast between high fashion and what you like to call frumpy. I think frumpy's hot, you know.
Well, that makes me feel very good because
So
that
argued with me for a long time that frumpy wasn't a word.
it's such
And I
a
was
word.
like, that is
frumpy
a
all the
word. Yeah, frumpy is a word.
You know there are words where people just make them up. It's not actually a word. None come to mind. Yeah, of course.
I had to use Google or Siri. I had to use Siri and I was like, hey, is frumpy a word? And it was like, yeah.
This is another case where the man is going to say, babe, you were right.
I love it. Stop, it's recorded.
All right, you got anything else before we get into synopsis?
One more fun musical fact. The Devil Wears Prada is also the name of a pretty great Christian metalcore band.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I saw a ton of their videos when I was
Really?
looking for like content information about it on YouTube. There's a ton of Devil Wears Prada videos that I did not watch.
It's funny because they're a Christian metalcore band, but they ironically tour with like Slipknot and Slayer.
Well,
So did like Flyleaf.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Art is art is art, man.
It's also Suddenly I See. Well, the whole album was inspired by Horses by Patti Smith, which I wanted to look up before the show, and I didn't. I have to look it up and see what that was about.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anybody else got anything before we start?
I don't think I have anything about like before we start. I might just like throw my tidbits throughout.
All right. Yeah.
This is where the fun starts right here.
Tidbits. Yeah.
All right. So
By the way, before you start, we're doing this from now on, where you know what I'm saying? Where we section by section, we talk about the synopsis.
I always have been. I just never told you.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, from now on, I'll loop you
Now
in.
I've been told.
Read the playbook.
I feel like it covered most of my personal notes. I was like, oh yeah, I wrote that down a second ago. Now I'm reading it. There you go.
Well, I mean, you're not trying to like write out the synopsis. We have the synopsis. You're just commenting on the synopsis.
And boy, did we.
So let's get started. Andrea.
Yeah.
Andy Sachs, played by Anne Hathaway, is an aspiring journalist fresh out of Northwestern University. Despite ridiculous...
You want to try that again?
Despite ridiculing the shallowness of the fashion industry, she lands the job a million girls would kill for. Junior personal assistant to Miranda Priestly, played by Meryl Streep, the icy editor-in-chief of Runway Fashion magazine. Despite having little knowledge of fashion, Andy puts up with Miranda's bizarre and humiliating treatment in hopes of getting a job as a reporter or writer somewhere else. At first, Andy fumbles with her job and fits in poorly with her catty coworkers, especially Miranda's British senior assistant, Emily Charlton, played by Emily Blunt. First things, man, it's super not a movie about the fashion industry so much as it's about watching Andy grow And it's interesting because like none of the other characters grow. They all stay static. You know, they have like they set up this character and that character is that person throughout what feels like a year. We watch her get broken and then built back up into somebody new who her friends hate. And then she has a moment of self-awareness and walks away from it all, goes back to who she really is.
I disagree with you in the sense that we do see some of them grow. I feel like we see Miranda grow. She softens a bit. I also feel like we see Emily grow and soften a bit. It's not until the very end that we see it, but we do see it.
And you have notes about that?
A little bit, but not too much.
I'll give you that. It's not until the very end.
Yeah. Well,
like with Miranda, you get a smile out of her after she sees Andy on the street and she's gotten in her car and like she won't smile at Andy. No growth there. You know, I'm like very, very little growth. And then with Emily, there's no growth out of her until Andy gives her clothes from Harris. And even then, the very backhand of the compliments, like, oh, it's so inconvenient. I'll have to take him to the tailor and get him taken
there's
in.
a scene in that where they're at the gala together and Emily's sick. She forgets somebody's name. Andy jumps to the rescue and then she looks over and she says thank you. And she means it. You can tell with her eyes she means it. And her cattiness dials down maybe a notch.
Yeah.
So you do see it.
She was sick, so.
There's
You know.
the flu meds.
Yeah.
It's just a reward.
Well,
Yeah.
and
You give
but
it
they're
to a
those
man.
are background characters. In ways they're supposed to stay stagnant. You have Miranda and Andy, who are your main focus for the most part. Everyone else is supposed to be kind of stagnant
Yeah.
I think
in this story.
the overall theme too was about a toxic workplace.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's like the number one.
makes sense.
We've all had toxic workplaces and stuff, so it's kind of like, oh, there.
And everyone in the office was very quick to judge appearance. Like
Oh, yeah.
they were reading the book by its cover. They were not.
Yeah.
They did not care about the depth.
Big
behind
on high
anything.
fashion, not into frumpy. I'm not. I like frumpy. Not a fan of high fashion. I feel like you're doing too much. You know, dial it down. But going back to that opening where you've got the girls getting ready for work, you notice that the taxi stops real fast for the hot ones, zooms right past the ones that are slightly less hot, and then Super Frumpy has to take the subway.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a regular thing in the women's world, and they're like studies have shown like women who wear like the color red, it instantly attracts an eye. It's not just about colors; it's about the style and appearance of clothing on women will instantly make them more of an eye focus to not just men, to other women too.
Yeah.
So being a woman alone is competitive over your way,
100%.
and then you enter the competitive workplace.
Yep.
Okay.
Not too fast.
When we meet Nigel, his first comment's about the onion bagel, and it's our first tacky food comment, one of many throughout the entire
Oh
movie.
yeah, yes.
I hate it.
Everyone's in a rush to prep the workplace for the boss to show up. Toxic workplace culture. They're tossing out their food. They're changing their shoes. It's too much, you know. Huge red flags that Andy should have clocked right off the bat.
I think she did.
When we first meet Miranda, she's rattling off demands, giving no time for notes or questions. And then she gets to, we have somebody here that I'm fixing to interview for the new assistant position. Oh, no, clearly I have to do that myself. The last two you did were inadequate. Condescending is all get out.
Belittling.
Yeah. I have to do your job for you.
Not
Yeah.
trusting her employees.
Right.
Micromanaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But micromanaging that one thing, she delegates, but it's, she's delegating without giving clear instructions and setting up this culture where you don't ask questions.
Yes.
You had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't repeat herself. I put that in my note. I thought that was kind of like a cool power move, but like also very intimidating.
Oh yeah.
Like she'll just say once and kind of walk, like she's not approachable anymore.
Mhm.
Like,
They would have tried that. I don't know if I don't have me.
But she gets the job, and then you get to meet her friends, and you're kind of left hanging, like wondering, well, why did she get the job? And Miranda explains herself later, and we'll get to that. But we meet her friends. They're very normal at first, and then they stay very normal throughout the whole movie. You can relate, to her friend group. In that first scene with Nate, he's very sweet. Now, I saw this thing where they break down Nate and Andy's relationship on YouTube. And apparently in 2016, somebody wrote this article saying that Nate's the bad guy because he doesn't support Andy. Yeah. Yeah.
See, I can't agree with it. And me and him had many discussions during the movie where I was like, no, I don't see it.
After that article came out, and during the Me Too movement, a bunch of copycat articles, got fired off where everybody kind of jumps on that bandwagon. And even AMA with the cast, the actor who played Nate, something like a decade later, was like, oh yeah, I have grown a lot since playing that character. And, I used to not think that he did anything wrong. And in retrospect, he wasn't a good boyfriend. And look, my opinion on it, he was young. They're both very young. And at the end of the movie, they don't end up together, and that's probably for the best because they're so young. And he was very sweet to her. He was not very supportive, but she made it clear that this was just a temporary thing. It was not her dream job. She was, wanted to be a writer, and this is just something that's in the industry kind of tangentially where she can, make some money while she works on getting that dream job. And he watches her get broken down, and he doesn't like it,
I never saw any unsupportiveness. Like, in fact, he was kind of like, good for you, go for it. He encouraged it up until he saw the abuse. And then how he had put it in one word, so he got kind of protected. And all he was really trying to do was like open her eyes to see, like, hey, you are changing. This is changing you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what justifies his unsupportiveness. He was unsupportive of her building herself up into this new person to fit this career that she doesn't want.
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is that he was whiny about it.
He was a little whiny. I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his problem was just she was changing into someone he didn't recognize.
That's not who he fell in love with.
Right.
So earlier in the movie, before they had that breakup, she broke up with him, by the way. Emily Blunt's character. Anyway, she she even accuses Andy of selling her soul, which is a beautiful line in this movie. Devil Wears Prada, you're selling your soul to the devil, right?
Yeah, we'll get to that when I got thoughts.
But this is my thoughts on the boyfriend thing here. Is like he sort of saw what Emily saw in that. She was like she had changed. Y'all said it too. She had changed. She had sort of sold her soul.
Right.
And so, here's the thing: is like I kind of a little bit agree that he was unsupportive in that she clearly had prioritized this job. This was important to her. This was very important to her. Boyfriend is letting it. Okay, so he's letting his idea of Andy being mistreated, which she was,
right,
override the fact that the job is clearly important to her.
Yeah.
So sort of unsupportive.
Yes.
But again, I have so many thoughts about this because you said that during the Me Too movement is whenever all these articles started popping up down that. Well, they really missed the mark because Christian, the character in the movie that bangs
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah,
Easy,
the
John.
second
He's a
love
fucking
interest.
POS.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
we'll get to that as well.
They really missed
He's
the
a
mark.
real
on that.
villain.
Oh.
Don't apologize.
Okay. When I can't remember which part when they do their lunch break, and Emily's like, "I get 20 minutes, you get 15 minutes," because I got notes about that.
Tell us, talk to us.
Oh, okay. Is it the right place?
Sure.
Okay. So in the part, Emily's got her friend, and she's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna get to the loo and go to lunch. I get 20 minutes. When I get back, you get 15 minutes." And I was like, "That is not right." Mm-mm.
No.
So I googled the NY labor laws in 2006.
Oh, hit me.
Yeah. Let's talk about the 2000 New York State labor laws. Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think minimum wage was back then?
In New York,
2006.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with like $9 an hour.
Yeah, in New York.
It was like
Yeah.
3 something.
Okay, I was working at Blockbuster in Texas, making $5.15 an hour. So it was more than that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh,
So it was 7 something.
I'll say like
Why just spit
1075. There we go.
He's really what is it?
1075.
$6.75 an hour.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Uh-huh.
Dang.
And they don't really talk about pay in this movie.
Of course not.
I remember.
So
Well, because it was taboo, especially back in 2006. You don't talk about pay. I remember, like,
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
It is-
even when
it's-
I got into the workforce a few years after that,
Right.
it was,
It is
you
kind
don't
of
talk
bullshit
about your
that you
pay.
don't talk about your pay.
Oh yeah,
Because
100%.
Because it
It's-
squashes competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those higher law things.
Right.
Yeah.
The higher ups don't want you talking.
You know what's funny about
But I promise you, those guys are talking about their pay on the golf course.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Dude, if you haven't seen what's that show? That movie rather? Edit this out. Mountain Head.
Oh, Mountain.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Oh, we watched that. I made him watch
But
it.
awesome.
That's a
It's
rabbit hole.
gross, but it's
Um,
a good movie.
Well, I wanted to say that when Jen and I were in New York about 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and we went to the Empire State Building, and the bottom floor was all
Oh,
vacant
yeah.
and for lease, and they had all this information printed on the glass so that you could like make a decision like whether you wanted to put your shop in the bottom of the Empire State Building. And one of the things was that the average income was like 120, 130, I think, $1,000 a year in that area. You know, this is Manhattan. You know, man, I now just remember being like, that's twice what the average income in my neighborhood is. That's bananas.
Yeah.
And this is 5 years ago, so 10 years after the movie. So yeah, minimum wage is in the 6s and 7s, and but you have these people that are making millions and billions that skew that average up, where it makes it seem like everybody's making all this money. But you have these two different classes, and there is no middle class.
Yeah.
Well, look at Andy and her boyfriend's apartment. Like, what was it even a studio? Like,
No, it
their
wasn't a
bedroom
studio.
separate?
It was nicer than most. that you
Right, it
see.
was.
But now
It was
I think-
cluttered.
Yeah, it was
cute.
tight.
It-
It was a tight little.
It was so
spot.
cute because he's a chef and he makes her like grilled cheese, and she didn't want to eat it because of her
Yeah.
work.
That's one of the notes.
Diet
Yeah.
trauma.
That girl, she
Yeah.
made that very
And
slight. It was like it's burnt.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's like, that's $8 worth of. I forgot what kind of cheese it was. He's like,
Yeah.
well, for a lot of way, that's $8 worth of cheese.
Yeah,
that.
Nate's a chef.
Yeah.
And that's also one of these crazy jobs that's super intense. People are mean to each other. It's normal in that industry. There's a lot of industries, construction. Fashion's not the only one. That's the beautiful thing about this movie is that it's hailed as like this feminist movie, but at the end of the day, what's so great about this movie is that you don't have to have the women. It's not like where in Avengers Endgame where they put like all the women at the very end to like shoehorn in. Look, we have badass women in this movie. they didn't have to do that because there is just the women are badass, but that's not what defines them. Is the fact that they're women, you know. What defines them is that they're good at what they do, and
their character.
Yeah, and you could have taken this movie, changed it to men, set it in a kitchen, set it on a construction site, set it on Wall Street, and you got the same movie, but it works great in this one. And
I have thoughts on what you just said, and it goes right along with the beginning of this movie. In the beginning of this movie, it sets up like this toxic work environment. We talked about that, right? Mm-hmm. I couldn't help coming from the background that I come from, which is purely construction. I feel like in a toxic environment like that, where the leader is intimidating, cold, and feared, and when the leader demands that, when that kind of high standard is set like that dangerously high, in the construction industry, that could lead to injury or death.
Yeah, 100%.
Help me out here.
Sure. Some of the construction parallels that I took are the same kind of like, we would have just, sometimes, I'm going to rattle off some numbers at you. You better be fucking writing this down. You know what I mean? Other times, I write it down, throw it at you, and then I'm back to work. You better not have any fucking questions. There's a scene where Miranda asks for something and then holds her hand out, and just sits there and holds her hand out, and but I've been guilty of doing the exact opposite, where like me and you have done a lot of tile, and if I send you to go cut something and then I'm laying tile, do not come and just hold that piece of tile out in front of me like I'm going to take it. I'm busy. I'll get to that tile. I'm going to come back around to where that tile goes. Set it down. I'll get to it. Don't hold it out. And I've been a dick about that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of parallels. Like I said, you could set this in any industry, in any gender, and the movie holds up.
The lesson there is that that's a teachable moment, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it may be a teachable moment that irritates you because you shouldn't have to teach that, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys want to know the lunch loss?
Yes.
Okay. Give you a hint. It's not 15 minutes. So I thought this was really interesting, the way they had it. And I don't know if the same was like this in Texas. I guess I could have compared, but I didn't. But again, this is 2006 labor laws. Mm-hmm. And so employers were required to provide an unpaid 30-minute lunch for shifts longer than 6 hours if the time period, like if that shift crossed over between the noon meal times of 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And of course, there was a 30-minute unpaid lunch.
Yeah.
And then the part that I thought was interesting is that the shifts started between 1 p.m. and 6 a.m. and it was still more than a 6-hour shift. It needs to be a 45-minute meal break.
Yeah.
Is that the same in Texas?
I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting how it's like different based on the times. I didn't know if that was like because traffic's crazier during that time shift or what, but both were unpaid breaks. But
that was the New York law.
I thought it was 30 minutes. I thought it was 30 minutes. I used to know this.
Right.
Me and her
but that was Texas.
running the thrift store.
For the big corporations, not even a thrift store, for big corporations, for a 4 hours or like a minute part-time hour kind of shift compared to a full-time hour shift. There's difference. You get 30 minutes to an hour depending on like how many hours you're working.
Well, this was like based on the time.
Yeah.
Which
and
was
I bet for New
interesting.
York, that would work for that kind of spot. For us, it's a lot different.
So for our listeners, Seth and Trixie owned a retail thrift store for what, like 5 years?
Business owner.
Yeah, not well.
And
5 years in Midland, and about a year here before where I was just like, I'm done.
And I've been working at a startup remotely on a salary for 5 years. I kind of out here on an island by myself. My boss is in Dallas and his boss is in Maryland. And before that, I was a business owner for 8 years, and everybody was like 1099. You know, I didn't have any W-2 employees. So yeah, if anybody would know, it's going to be Trixie and Seth.
Yes.
Next, I have Fashion Gandalf hooks her up with some shoes, and then at that moment she's like, "I don't need shoes. I'm wearing shoes." And he's like, "No, put the shoes on." And she's like, "Oh, Emily," and he's like, "She means you." Nigel's a mentor figure in this world. She rattles off a bunch of orders again, no questions, and then calls her Emily again. I actually skipped one, though. Before that, we talked about Nate makes her dinner. She doesn't take it. But then that next morning, phone starts ringing. The clock's right next to the phone. You get to see what time it is. It's what, 6:15? Don't call me at 6:15. Don't do that. Boundaries. And that's kind of on you when you take a new position to set those boundaries. I did it whenever I started this position that I'm at, the prop tech startup. I have two phones. I have my personal phone and I have my work phone. I have my work phone from 8 to 5. After those hours, it's just my personal phone. And I set that boundary and everybody respects it. It's really that easy. It really is that easy.
Yeah. She one thing that you mentioned though is that she always, well, she doesn't always, I guess, but she keeps correcting people on her name, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that Miranda really enjoys about
Respects.
Yeah.
And what Miranda might respect about him.
Exactly, yes.
That she actually,
because that's one of those things that sort of reminds her of Miranda, help me out here. Reminds her of her, right? If you're following me.
Yeah, where she sees herself.
Right. And that, like, don't call me by a different name. My name is Andy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and she tries
a sense of self.
She tries to set that boundary, but then Miranda immediately just stomps on it again and calls her Emily again. We meet Serena, who is played by Giselle Bundchen, Tom Brady's ex-wife,
that's right.
who actually is a supermodel.
Yep.
And had a speaking part in this movie.
Yeah.
And not just one scene, too.
She acts better than John Cena.
Yeah, you actually saw it.
I actually love John Cena.
Well, you just can't see him in anything. Then they go to lunch, and Nigel's a dick about the food. We go back to the impossible
Clam
standard.
chowder gives you cellulite.
Well, he says cellulite's one of the main ingredients.
Okay.
That's
I had a thing with the constant comments on the body size, which at that time was a big thing where they were, I think, starting to be like more body positive. And so it was like, I remember a time where you had to. Yeah, Nigel was part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Nigel was body shaming?
Yes.
You remember that scene?
That's
Nigel's body shaming.
That's Nigel's entire personality.
It's body shaming.
Okay.
And everybody else in the office.
I should just keep my mouth shut.
I have a note that says
I didn't see that from him.
HR needs to have a meeting about the toxic diet culture of this business.
Yeah.
But you're
Like, I
saying
wish I
Nigel,
could fit in a size 6.
but y'all are saying, you're blowing my mind that Nigel perpetuated that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Part of it.
How?
And I loved him.
Bro,
but-
one of the last lines that he says in the movie is, "You bet your size 6 ass." And she's like, "I'm down 2 sizes."
She's like, "I'm a size 4 now." He's like, "Yeah, girl," and high fives her.
Yeah, my work is done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I have a gay uncle that sounds exactly like. So I'm sorry. I'm not sexist, I swear.
But yeah, at the lunch, you have these impossible body standards. The eating thing is a constant throughout the movie. He mentions that it's that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry about inner beauty. Being sarcastic. Yeah.
That was
Very sarcastic.
Yeah,
It's
but
more about interviewing.
I thought that was him, like, you know how a comedy makes fun of something to sort of shed light on the problem? I thought that's what that was.
Well, in all actuality,
Sure.
yes, but for the movie's sake, no, it was 100% dead on. That is the whole office, because they were instantly dogging her style, her weight, her just appearance in general.
Look,
They definitely were.
it is funny, but the problem is, historically, so is fat shaming people. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's wrong. And like, where do you draw the line? And maybe, you know, in the early 2000s, the line was still on Nigel's side, but that line has certainly come to the correct side in recent years.
When Nigel said that, his whole point of that catty remark about inner beauty was that inner beauty, you can't make money off it. You make money off physical beauty.
Yeah.
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 And he doubles down on the million girls would kill for this job. This is something that you hear over and over again. That, you know, they make it clear to her that this job is more important than she thinks it is. A million girls would kill for this job. They say it over and over and
And
over
how
again.
replaceable she is.
Yeah. Yes, that's the point. That's the point, is that she's replaceable.
Yeah, and that's a real dick move to constantly throw in someone's face that you are easily replaceable. And by the way, it's even more so a dick move because Andy sort of was the cream of the crop of the people who would have tried out for that position. I wrote down in my notes that it was there was a scene where I think Madonna's Vogue was no, this is a different play. Anyway, there's a scene where Miranda kept like throwing her jacket and purse down over and over, right?
Over and over on
she wouldn't
on
pick
Andy's
up
desk.
on like respecting Miranda enough to go get her jacket and purse. But everything that Miranda demanded, which sometimes was stupidly vague shit, like, where's that paper I had yesterday morning? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She
go get some skirts.
Andy was very obviously
You
a
gonna elaborate on that?
fantastic problem solver because if she wasn't accomplishing all those ridiculous demands, she wouldn't have kept her around for all that time.
Right.
And this is all in the
Just figuring it
beginning
out.
of the movie.
Figuring it out.
She's a hell of a problem solver.
We have a great scene where Miranda breaks down the history of her sweater.
Yes.
That was good. That did a good job of explaining that not only is she very good at what she does, but she influences the market.
Miranda.
And
Yes.
it makes it clear that it starts with high fashion and ends up in the dollar stores.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Also, are you done? I don't want to step on your toes. Also, it's a moment where Miranda, I would say inadvertently, and you could argue, you know, people could argue that, but she inadvertently teaches Andy that, you know, attention to detail is key.
I don't think she did do it inadvertently. I think she meant to.
And I can see that avenue also.
That's her way, you know. It's very much like the military,
Right.
in that, you know, we're gonna break you down and we're gonna build you back up.
I mentioned that to her in the beginning of the movie.
Makes her moldable.
Said one of Miranda's positive traits was that she truly believes in the work that she does.
Oh yeah.
Like she does believe she is doing her calling, and she believes in it.
Yeah, and you want that in a leader.
You do, absolutely.
Then to close this scene out, we have this montage of toxicity. You were talking about her throwing her stuff down on Andy's desk. You get a lot of that, and just this whole montage. I forget what the song was. I should have wrote down what the song was, but a montage of workplace toxicity, which it was good stuff. All right, then back to our synopsis. During a dinner scene with her father, who came to visit in New York, Miranda calls, and the airport in Florida where she is are all closed due to a hurricane. She needs to get home and orders Andy to get her home somehow. Andy tries every airline company there is, but none of them are flying out because of the weather. when Miranda does arrive back at the office, she tells Andy that she has disappointed her more than any of her previous assistants. So at this point, Andy's bought in. When she's having dinner with her dad, she's telling her all about how this is her big break. She's hook, line, and sinker, bought in.
Drank
And
the Kool-Aid.
yeah, she has drank the Kool-Aid, and she gets accused of that later on.
Yeah.
Then we have that Miranda's, do you know why I hired you? You know, we kind of wondered at the beginning. They left it, you know, they never really talk about it because, you know, you'd think that she lost the job. She walks down. Then she gets a phone call and she's like, oh, you got the job. And you don't know why. But Miranda tells her, you know, that I decided to take a chance on the smart fat girl.
Yeah.
I put in my notes, stop calling Anne Hathaway fat.
Right?
Like in all caps.
Ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculously high standards. I put down, like, if I had a boss like that, I would leave. Because I wouldn't put up with it. I'm like, if you think that I can move a mountain for you, when, like, obviously I can't, like, something like that, and you're out of your mind, I'm out of here. I'm not going to waste my time anymore. But Andy shows incredible strength in staying in, where my favorite kind of line from the break her down and build her up, the immense pressure that's put on her is you can make diamonds that way, you know? So I see some reasoning behind it, but it got out of hand with the hurricane where she's like, oh, it's just a drizzle. Like,
No, that's where it shows that this woman is out of touch with reality.
Exactly.
And a narcissist, because she's like, it's just, you know, some weather thing.
Yeah.
This
Right.
Me. It's like, this is affecting millions of people.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but that's a beautiful analogy. Miranda is taking what she considers a piece of coal in Andy, applying a ton of pressure, and actually does turn her into a diamond.
which is, I think, why she smiles at the end.
Yeah.
And Miranda's reasoning was she was going to miss her child's, her children, her twins, recital or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it was like, this is affecting my home life, do what you can, but to put all that blame, it's like, no, you got to take some responsibility there as a leader and say, I messed up and scheduled myself wrong, and, you know, take some blame there.
Did you catch the backhanded compliment from Miranda? Whenever she was telling her and she was disappointed.
Yeah.
She was disappointed at Andy, right? Over all her other assistants, she says. It's actually a backhanded compliment because it shows that Miranda had high hopes for Andy and she thought that Andy was the one.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
she did say I had high hopes for you.
It makes me wonder, though, if Miranda's intentions to get home are truly going to see both her and her daughter's performance, because she knows that Miranda Priestly holds more weight. Like, if Miranda Priestly were to make those phone calls herself with her contacts with private jets, they wouldn't be able to tell her no. But Andy doing it is kind of like purposely putting stress on Andy.
It's a good question.
No, she was passing blame.
Well,
Because I bet she tried.
yeah,
I bet
right
she
there.
tried.
100%. This movie is from Andy's point of view. I promise you, Miranda was making phone calls also.
Yeah.
And
Okay, that's a good point.
yeah,
I feel like
Well,
she
then that
was.
shows how terrible she really is.
Well, you
yeah.
I mean,
What's the
I
point?
have to be
It's a fucking
devil's
hurricane.
advocate, I guess, because I see the softer side of Miranda and a few things that nobody else is seeing the softer side of her.
Yeah.
Where it's like, she does want to be there for her husband, but she is still prioritizing
Well, and her
work.
kids.
She does want to be there for her kids, but she still prioritized her work because she was out of town and got stuck.
This is
There are a lot of things where it's like, there is a soft side.
That's true.
This is the first scene where you get a glimpse that, hey, she has kids, you know, and she missed their recital because of this hurricane. And then she blamed the hurricane on Andy.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
I don't think that Miranda is a bad mom. I think that she is a upper class billionaire mom, and they mom different.
Less involved.
You think that the billionaire class mom that is a what we would call a decent person is rare?
Well, all I'm saying is
It's
that
not exist. It's not zero.
all I'm saying is that the way the trailer park moms versus the way that the billionaire moms are two entirely different worlds. You know what I mean?
Because it does
No.
sometimes show you in the movie that she does
Sometimes,
think
right?
of her kids when she's at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
No.
a scene where they really humanize the hell out of it.
Yeah.
One scene.
Yeah.
But
Yes, exactly.
and we're not there yet. But I mean, what I'm getting at is that you have some important tenets in parenting that doesn't matter what class you're in. One of them is be at the recital. You know what I mean?
Be present.
Yeah. And then other than that, you have to understand the trailer park mom and billionaire mom are going to take two completely different approaches, and there's nothing wrong with that. They live in two different worlds. You can't expect trailer park mom to take the same approach that billionaire mom has because they don't have the same resources, And then you can't expect billionaire mom to take the same approach as trailer park mom because she has all of these resources,
And other reasons too, but absolutely.
Yeah. That's a very simplified way to approach it.
Sure.
But it's a rabbit hole that we could,
Spend hours.
Can't
on
wait
it.
for the obviously wrong article about it.
yeah. All right. Anybody got anything else before I jump on to the next?
Did she already did a makeover?
No. Okay. So
Yeah. Oh no, not
We're
sorry.
getting there though with the Madonna Vogue
Yeah.
coming into the music next
So-
scene.
Andy has a talk with Runway's art director, Nigel, played by Stanley Tucci, who gives a whole new perspective of Miranda, her work in fashion in general. Andy decides to change and initially, with Nigel's help, gradually learns her responsibilities and begins to dress more stylish. Slowly but surely, Andy begins to sacrifice her personal life to her career. Miranda notices the change in Andy and gives her a new task, delivering the book, a mock-up of the next edition feature spreads, to her Upper East Side townhouse. Andy feels proud, as Emily told her before, that Miranda doesn't allow strangers in her house. One quick note on this synopsis. I get these off of IMDb, and they're submitted by just the everyday user. Anybody can submit one.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the grammar's garbage. They're out of order. They can be a challenge to do what we do using. This one, whoever did this synopsis,
This is one of the better ones.
it's very good. They did a great job. It's in order. The grammar's all perfect. And I suspect that every synopsis I've read so far was written by a guy, and this was the first one written by a girl.
Yes, I was gonna say it. I'm so glad you're the one who said it
Yeah.
because that's what I was thinking.
Took the words right out of my mouth too, I swear. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wrote like when she went to Nigel. I mean, he basically tells her, "Hey, stop being a baby. You're whining. You grow a backbone," which sometimes you do have to do. You
Yeah.
have to go.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, that hurt my feelings, but I'm a big girl. I gotta
Right.
pull my big girl's panties up.
Fashion Gandalf tells her to quit.
Yeah.
I love Nigel.
And-
I
and-
really do. I don't believe he's a good dude. He just sold his soul.
I
Really
really Nigel's
is
a good dude. I just
You're
think
right.
he's bitchy.
No, you're right. See, here's the thing about Fashion Gandalf. He is bought in to this toxic work culture. He is a victim of it just as anybody else.
Yes.
Yes.
That.
Yep.
And you see that at the end, and he even kind of admits that he's tangentially aware.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And we'll get there.
Well,
But I wanted to point out that in this kind of backhanded pep talk that he gives, he also doubles down on the a million other girls want this
Right.
job. And he takes this tough love approach.
Yes.
And we're no stranger to the tough love approach. Yondu in Guardians of
right.
the Galaxy is our latest example of the tough love approach. And I've always been coached with that tough love approach, and I have used the tough love approach in my coaching. So, you know, I don't fault Nigel at all. I'm not knocking on the tough love approach. It's a good approach
It is, I think.
when you
What I was
sprinkle it.
raised on.
I look forward to you writing about
it's
it.
needed because if you
Awesome.
baby them too much, you get a whole what some of the new generation is a whole lot of whiners.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mates.
I didn't like that. You hurt my feelings. I need a safe space.
I wrote some great
No
quotes
safe
down
space.
about this section of the
Why?
movie.
What you got?
So context for this quote: when she meets that real giant, slightly good-looking douchebag Christian. Is it Christian that says it? It's not. Somebody says you work for Miranda.
Oh, it's
or you work for
the
Miranda Priestly.
designer.
That's James Holt.
No, yeah, that's James.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Must be in
first
desperate
guy.
need for hard liquor.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Because everyone
Now-
in the industry knows what she's going through.
yeah.
No, but that's an important part of the plot because they're using drinking as a coping mechanism for this toxic work culture.
Which is real.
It's a very
Yeah,
real
very
thing.
real.
You see it in the construction industry. where
100%.
at 5 o'clock,
It's ruined
the ice
great
chest
people.
opens up and everybody starts drinking.
Yeah.
Cheers to public education.
You saw it in The Wolf of Wall Street with, you know, the drugs and the drinking and the martinis at lunch.
Yeah, it's kind of the way of life. It's the culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another, and this one is this one's vital for leadership here. This quote: "Her opinion is the only one that matters." Now I ask you, Mark, when is one person's opinion the only one that matters a real thing in the world of leadership and project management? Is there a case where that's real? Pure curiosity.
When they're the one that signs the checks.
That's hard to argue with. There's this joke in the construction world that if you're the guy who writes the checks, right? You're up on the ladder.
Yeah.
You fall. It's like, well, as long as this check writing arm is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've certainly used that joke a couple of times. We have the makeover scene, and I gotta point out that Nigel gives her a fucking hunting jacket. Like,
I actually almost wore
Poncho.
that.
She calls it.
she calls it a poncho.
Poncho. Yeah.
Dude, I would wear that jacket in the woods to hunt because it looks comfortable, and I would not get
And
shot
warm.
at by other hunters.
You know it's dyed mink or some shit
Warm.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Warm as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real fur too.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not dyed, man.
Real
It's
animal stuff is
Yeah.
warm.
But
Yeah.
that being said, I don't have the name in front of me. I'll look it up, and we'll quote it before I get done. But the woman who did the costumes for this kind of got snubbed at the snubbed at the Oscars. She got a nomination for this movie, but it was a tough year in that there was a lot of period pieces, and the Oscars love a good period piece, you know. So she didn't get best costume designer for this one, but she did get nominated, and that person, I'm taking a look up the name, has stated that has made some comments about how Hollywood has that culture where like modern costumes really don't get the recognition that they probably deserve, and that the Oscar committee loves a good period piece.
Yeah, didn't the Oscars get recently called out in the zeitgeist for some shenanigans?
So many.
For like,
No, always they do.
always they do.
Always.
I don't.
It's something. It's always something.
You know, in my world, like doing the modern costumes to me seems more of a challenge because you got to take the characters. Like, where would this character shop at?
Yeah.
Would they be trendy, or would they not care about how much money do they make? Like, all those things you have to factor in. So I don't know. To me, modern is way more harder.
You're the Daniel Day-Lewis of movie watchers.
I hope so. I hope I'm the Daniel Day-Lewis of something in this world.
So
break up.
okay, her name is Patricia Field. She has been nominated for 1 Oscar. She has 11 wins in different different awards. But she's known for The Devil Wears Prada, Sex and the City, both the movie and the series, and
Yeah.
and Ugly Betty.
Okay, I don't know that one. I heard good things about it.
And recently, and Just Like That.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, also Emily in Paris.
I've heard good things about that. I've never seen it, but that good for her.
She's like the go-to for,
Right.
for that style of costume design for good reason.
Yes. Okay, speaking of fashion and movies, your favorite fashion montage from a movie, go.
Oh, I'm gonna go super girly, it's not me. 27 Dresses, I think, or the bridesmaid, where she goes through all the bridesmaid dresses. I was never asked to be a bridesmaid for years, and I was like, I thought I had so many friends, and I wanted all these bridesmaid dresses, and I wanted to be on all my. I never got that, so that was one of my favorite montages, watching her go through all of her 27, all of those dresses.
What song did they go to? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember right now.
Okay.
That's a good question, though.
That is a good question. I had a movie in mind, but I montage means song too.
Yeah. It's
when you asked that question, my mind went to the movie Clueless.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, there's that.
Hit me.
Fashion model. That one.
Sure.
Supermodel by some band. No, it's the girl who just died recently. It was for bands. I don't care if my teacher says I'm going to be a supermodel. That one.
Yeah, the song escapes me, which is
embarrassing for me. Just died. That is a good one.
Spot. It's hard to remember.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sorry to put you on the spot.
You know what's funny?
How many montages have I'm too sexy? Too sexy.
That's a good question. Probably too many.
Yeah, there's way too many, because I think of a montage. That's the first song that pops in my head.
When I was watching Devil Wears Prada and they did the montage to Vogue by Madonna, my immediate thought was, there's so many montages to Vogue, but there's not.
Is there not?
There's really not. And I tried to look it up.
And it was appropriate for
It was perfect.
It was very appropriate.
Am I next?
Yeah.
So my
You gotta
favorite,
raise your hand. You gotta go. Yes, Mark.
my favorite fashion montage in a movie, and I do know the song. It's in Dumb and Dumber when they're getting their makeover.
I freaking know it. I knew it. I was like, dude, sweet in my head.
And
You Googled the song. I just saw you do
I
it.
did Google the song, and they're grinding their toenails and shit. And then at the end of it all, after the tap dancing and everything, they come in with these ridiculous suits that, man, I want one. I want both those.
Baby blue and bright orange.
Interestingly enough, those two colors are the Leadership Knox brand colors. Now the song, does anybody? Who knows what the song is?
Now, it's right on the tip of my brain.
Yeah, it is, because it's Dumb and Dumber, man.
It's Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. Pretty Woman.
I was just jamming that song in the car, too.
I'm dying
On my way to work.
I don't know if you can Google or watch it, but mine is The Sweetest Thing with Christina Applegate and Cameron Diaz. They're on the road trip, and they go to this thrift store, and they do this montage to Shake Your Groove thing. And I could be wrong about this. I don't want to be wrong about it. I'm pretty sure they do an ode to Dumber and Dumber in that montage.
I haven't seen it. You gotta.
Oh, Sweetest Thing?
I haven't seen it either. Or 27 Dresses.
Stop it. Have you seen The Sweetest Thing?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I think I know what you're talking about.
I have no leadership skills to get from that movie, but that movie's amazing.
Well, let's do it. Let's dive into those next. All right, what do we got on our notes? We had the Vogue montage. Nate mentions that he spent an entire semester on potatoes.
Oh yeah, that's a great second. I feel the fairness.
But and I feel like that's an angle that they didn't lean into very well. But you know, it's intense in kitchens as well. They kind of made it seem like Nate's job was kind of easy and lax. Like he's taking phone calls on his cell phone while he's cooking and shit, and that's not realistic at all.
No.
You know, not in a real professional kitchen.
I'm just glad that you drew the parallels there because the cooking industry, that's a hard industry too.
Yeah.
You know?
Andy gives her friends all these hand-me-downs that they're super happy to receive initially. They have Mason Pearson hairbrushes. Interestingly enough, I have this friend who is this roughneck from West Texas who you would never expect to understand high fashion in the least bit. But on a fishing adventure, this dude turned me on to Mason Pearson hairbrushes and was like, bro, these are the brushes. And I have short hair. A brush doesn't really make a shit to me. It's just a brush. But I got one for Jen for, I think, Christmas. And maybe it was her birthday. I don't remember. But, dude, I probably use this Mason Pearson hairbrush more than she does. This thing.
Really?
Yeah. It's ox hair, bristles. And, dude, it really does. It works way better than any brush I've ever ran across my head.
This episode's sponsored by. No, for real though, is this, we talking about Forrest?
Yeah.
We're talking about
Shout out
Forrest.
to Forrest. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Sometimes brands do matter.
In my defense, I have curly
Might be
hair.
something.
That's the only reason why I don't use it as much as I still
Touche.
like it. I just,
But
you got to do
to
that.
be fair,
Yeah.
Forrest has like the Viking look
Oh,
going
yeah.
on with
Luscious locks.
super long golden locks and this huge beard. I think he had to shave his beard because of oil field regulations, so that he could wear the mask, which is unfortunate because I'm not used to seeing his chin.
Those aren't the attributes. Those aren't just the attributes that make him seem like a Viking. It's also his size and stature.
Yeah. Until he talks, and then he's like, "Oh no." But to be fair, I know Forrest is watching too.
Love
This
you,
dude,
Paul. We love you.
dude watches the
Yes.
podcast. Is one of the smartest motherfuckers I know.
Yes, he is.
This dude knows more. First of all, when he starts talking about like the oil field and the pressures and all this kind of stuff, I always thought that Forrest was successful in the oil field because he was the one crazy enough to go turn the valve that nobody else wanted to get close to.
Yeah.
No, I'm wrong. The dude knows the industry and he understands the mathematics and the flow rates. He sent me a chart of like all these flow rates for water and gas and stuff. We were talking about water conservation as it applies to the oil field. And he says, fun fact, those little spikes that you see on the gas is from storms rolling in where the barometric pressure drops. And then, of course, because the barometric pressure drops, the pressure inside of the casing itself will rise relative to, it's not that it's rising necessarily, it's just relative to the outside of the casing. There's a different, different pressure. So you got a little spike. Interesting stuff. And then we do a lot of offshore fishing, and this dude made charts to calculate at different speeds that the boat was moving, how far out your line would get. So like when you drop your line off the boat and you're drifting or even moving, the line doesn't go straight down. So you might have 100 yards or 100 meters or whatever worth of line out, but that doesn't mean that you're 100 meters deep because it scopes out. And as it goes out, it comes up. And this dude made these charts of like at different distance, like at different lengths down and different speeds, how far it gets out, so that he could like quick reference and know, I've got this much line out and we're moving at this speed. So I'm probably, my actual depth is about this. The dude.
That is kind of cool. I just choked on him, but that there is.
Yeah. Forrest, I love you, brother. All right, what do we got next? So she gives him the hand-me-downs, phone rings, and you have this whole scene where they're talking shit.
Yeah, her friends are being dicks.
Yeah, right after accepting all of her gifts, they're immediately douchebags. And Nate says someone's been drinking the Kool-Aid, which is true. but you don't got to be a douchebag about it.
Yeah.
This is our first scene where our friends are unsupportive.
That scene did not sit well with me.
No, it doesn't.
It kind of reeked of jealousy.
Yeah.
And even though it's not exactly what she set out to do in her journalism career, it is a good stepping stone for her. She's made that perfectly clear.
Yep.
This is a good stepping stone. And she has learned a lot about fashion.
Yeah.
And I mean, so she's learned a lot.
But to
Yeah.
her friends,
Yeah.
she was acting very out of the norm.
Yeah, they see her
to
changing.
them,
Right.
Yeah.
They see her changing and they don't like the change. Now,
Right.
to be fair, she has one gay friend who does appreciate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little bit more quiet about it than the girl and the boyfriend.
Then she's... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, that scene really bugged me. It was a form of bullying, which can be done in your own circle. Maybe unconsciously, your friends can bully you, but it's, very unsupportive. If you know somebody is like trying for something, don't mess with them in that sense, you know?
As somebody who's constantly reaching above my pay grade, I get it. Recently, my daughter kind of opened up to me and Jen about an instance where her friends were kind of being unfair. And I immediately had, an example of where, like, look, I empathize with you. I get it. And I gave her an example of where I experienced the same thing with my friends. You want to think that, these are young, tacky kids, but it never ends. It's, you see it in boomers, you'll see it for the rest of your life.
I would argue that it only ends if you learn the hard knock lesson.
I don't know. I think if you're someone who has like a growth mindset, but you're surrounded by people with fixed mindsets, that looks like jealousy.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that it ever ends. You just get to the point where you identify it early on and you go, maybe you're not the friends that I need to be around. You know what I mean?
I'm guilty of being a friend to not be around. I was a bully at one point in time to somebody who was, she was changing, and I bullied her a little bit. And now I'm starting to realize, I was the bad guy there.
We've all been there.
Sometimes you have to look in that mirror and say, I was the villain, in that scenario.
And the important thing is that you can look back on that and identify where you made a mistake and learn from that. Yeah. We all make mistakes. We're all about making mistakes. By all means, go and make mistakes, but learn from them and don't make them again.
Make different mistakes.
Different mistakes. I love it. Love it.
Make different mistakes. I want that shirt, Mark.
Trademark.
Make different mistakes.
So then she's sent to go meet with James Holt. That's where you get you work for Miranda Priestly, you're desperate for hard liquor. Coping mechanism. That's also where she meets Christian Thompson, who says you'll never survive Miranda.
Audible gag sound.
Yeah. And then Fashion Gandalf has this whole thing where they talk about where they're going to go see James Holt and see the line, and he talks about her rating system.
Oh, I love the rating system.
Yeah, the rating system's hilarious, but there is a James Bond reference.
Hit me.
The only time that Miranda has ever given approval at one of these showings is to Tom Ford. Tom Ford is who makes the Daniel Craig era James Bond suits. All of the suits that you see Daniel Craig wear, those are Tom Ford suits.
I'm wondering why that's so familiar. It kind of hit, but I'm not that big into James Bond, so I was just like, this is important.
Well, Miranda Priestly approved it.
And watching the movie and catching that reference, I remember going, this whole time I've been like, I don't get high fashion. And then going, oh shit, I know Tom Ford is.
Turns out you give a shit.
And
you like fancy
if I could
watches.
afford it, I would buy that $8,000 Tom Ford suit.
Yeah, damn right you would.
I would
As would I.
just one. I would just buy a Tom Ford.
You buy one and you'd go,
And then it would blow Mark's mind when I tell him you can't put that in the dryer. What? Yeah.
Who would make a suit you can't put in the dryer?
Tom Ford.
You're so right. It's funny because it's true.
Yes.
Emily explains to her that she has to behave as if she is invisible when she delivers the book at Miranda's house. However, Andy is tricked by Miranda's daughters going upstairs, where she inadvertently walks in on Miranda and her husband arguing. Mortified, she drops the book and leaves. Miranda punishes Andy by giving her an impossible task, securing the unpublished manuscript for the next book in the Harry Potter series for her twin daughters to read on the train. Andy is just about to quit when Christian Thompson, played by Simon Baker, a famous writer and acquaintance of Andy's, informs her he has obtained it for her. Andy delivers the copies to a stunned Miranda and keeps her job, much to her boyfriend's disappointment. Does anybody know what Harry Potter book it is?
Oh,
No.
is it the seventh one?
It is the seventh one.
I don't know what it's called.
It's the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, that's no worries.
I could have figured that out. I could have Batman that.
So the impossible task is a real thing in the corporate world.
I think it's bullshit.
When you
When they're
kind of
trying
piss off your boss and your boss wants to get rid of you, but they can't fire you without having to pay you unemployment and all this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You're put on a PIP, a performance improvement plan. So they'll basically set up a plan. They'll sit you down, call you in the meeting, and be like, "Look, you're not meeting expectations, and so we're going to put you on a performance improvement plan. Here are your current metrics. Here are the metrics that's expected of you. You have 30 days to correct the ship and meet these metrics. If you don't, you're out of here."
Yeah.
Now, this is a legal loophole where they can fire you after you don't meet these standards, and they don't have to pay you unemployment.
Now, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, the movie gives us an exaggerated example of it, where she's
Right.
given an impossible task.
I want your thoughts on the real life example.
Well, I'm getting it to you.
Please do.
Shut the fuck
Bothers
up.
the shit out of me. Shut your mouth and maybe you'll.
Such an impossible task you're getting.
Okay, so a PIP. They set this thing up, and the person who is placed on the PIP has two approaches: improve themselves and meet these standards and continue to be employed, or float through the next month, however long the terms of this PIP is, and if they fail, then they at least have this month to get their affairs in order, right? Or tell you to go fuck yourself and just quit right off the bat.
Yeah.
Now, in any of these situations, in the first situation where they achieve the PIP, they meet all of the standards and they get to keep their jobs. The company wins, right? If they don't meet the terms and they get shit canned, the company gets rid of them and does not have to pay them unemployment. Company wins.
Yes.
In the third one, you quit. The company doesn't have to pay you unemployment. The company wins. In all three of these methods, when the company puts you on a performance improvement plan or a PIP, or gives you the impossible task like Miranda did with this Harry Potter novel, the company comes out on top. And that's the meat and potatoes of what happened here. This is a fun Harry Potter analogy in the fashion world for a PIP.
Yeah.
A good little parable.
I have failed it because I wasn't actually given like an impossible task. But as soon as, but I was really young. But as soon as this was like, this is where you mess up, this is how you fix it, because I was so young and naive and like so full of myself at that time, I was like, F you, I don't need this.
Yeah.
And then I had to, I got out of there. I was like, bye. And when I could have probably got me some unemployment, but I fell for it.
Right.
I've never been put on a pit, but I have seen plenty of coworkers be put on a pit, and it always ends one of two ways. They either quit immediately, put in their 2 weeks, or they go through the terms of their fit and then they don't make it, and they end up in the next round of layoffs.
Right.
That's always been how it's played out. I've never seen anybody be put on a pit in the 5 years that I've been in the corporate world and survive. Moving on, Nate is happy when she calls him and is like, I fucking quit. She realizes she can't get her hands on this manuscript, so she quits. Nate's like, good for you,
I thought that was sweet.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, how are we going to pay rent? He was like, good for you. Yeah.
In the articles, they were saying it's unsupportive, but it's like, no, because it was abusive and she was finding her way out. Like, you're supposed to support her way out.
He was supporting. At that point, he was supporting.
Yeah.
He was not supportive of her while she had this job and while he was seeing her personality change. But when she finally broke and said that I quit, he was supportive. Now we have this unrealistic thing where at the time he's on his cell phone and he's in the kitchen and he's like just stirring a pot. And that's not how it works in commercial kitchens at all. Especially in these, big sought after restaurants. I'm sure he was working. It's Manhattan.
Yeah.
It was some fancy restaurant. But then Christian calls and he's like, hey, I got it. What he doesn't say is that he's going to hold this over her for the rest of their relationship.
Right.
But she's like, great, cool. She accomplishes, the PIP. She achieves the goals and saves her job. And then when she sees Nate that night, she calls it a moment of weakness. And, they have this conversation about clothes, and Nate says that he liked the old clothes. Or what he means is that, he fell in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
He liked frumpy and high fashion Andy is not who he fell in love with.
If you're playing the drinking game at home, you heard frumpy. Go ahead and drink.
Yeah.
I get why he was kind of like, look, in this moment, I didn't think he was unsupportive because he walks in and she's doing the Miranda's daughter's science project. And he's like, wait a second, you quit that job.
I didn't clock that.
And why are you still doing their science project after you quit? And that's when she tells him, actually, I didn't quit.
But is he seeing that as a red flag? Another red flag?
Probably. I mean, wouldn't you see if you were to walk into anyone's house and they're doing their boss's kid's science project? Like that's a red flag. Even if you're working McDonald's, but you're doing your store manager's kid's science project at your home.
Not on his side. He had no fault on him for calling it out for what it was. It was like.
Yeah, they didn't emphasize that enough because I didn't clock that she was doing the kid's science experiment.
Yeah.
They should have put more emphasis on that.
But
they were hung up on the Deathly Hallows.
He walks in probably thinking like, man, Andy, I want to cheer her up. She quit her job. She's been through a lot. Then he walks in and that shit.
Before you go any further, Mark, but speaking of the Deathly Hallows, I have to go back to the Impossible Task just for a second. Yeah. Because that was a moment where Miranda, I would argue again, inadvertently taught Andy resourcefulness.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty resourceful.
Yeah, it really was.
Turning her into a diamond.
Yeah.
She used your contact. And she met your Miranda.
You're 100% right. And I also want to point out that there's this quick scene where Miranda makes a comment when they're editing. They're making decisions about the magazine, and they have an article or something on Supreme Court women. Well, and so they say Supreme Court women, and then she goes Supreme Court woman to point out that there's only one at the time in 2006 when the movie came out. So we have that, very brief highlight of women in powerful positions or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
It's a good, very quick little Easter egg. We're referring to the Supreme Court thing. Yeah, well,
No.
was it Ruth at the time?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Was she the very first one?
No, not the first one. But she was in 2006. She was the.
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
Google
I
it
want to know.
again if you're playing your drinking game at home, which you can download for free nowhere for $0.
Okay. So from 2005 to 2006, and the movie was filmed in 2005 and released in 2006, the members of the Supreme Court were John Roberts Jr., John Paul Stevens, Sandra Day O'Connor, Antonin Scalia, Anthony Kennedy, David Souter, Clarence Thomas, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Stephen G. Byer. And then in 2006, 2009, and that was actually two women.
Yeah.
In 2009, it was John Roberts, John Paul Stevens, Antonin Scalia, Anthony Kennedy, David Souter, Clarence Thomas, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Byer, and then we had a new one, Samuel Alito Jr. So this would have been filmed directly after we had lost Sandra Day O'Connor.
Mm-hmm.
Did she retire or did she die?
So sad that we have to ask that question because they're all so old. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was born in El Paso on March 26, 1930.
Wow.
This movie came out when I was graduating high school.
She retired from the bench in 2006. I think she is still alive. Anyway, so that's the Supreme Court thing. Okay,
I was wrong.
Anybody got anything else before I move on to the next part of the synopsis?
I'm good.
Yeah.
In Paris, Andy attends the show. Did I?
Skip one?
When Emily falls ill, Miranda commands Andy
there's that.
to accompany the two of them to a charity benefit.
Or we thought
I had my stuff.
Emily was just sick, but I'm like, no, like we start to see her character soften and everybody changes with the people around them. Like a lot with your environment, whether it's toxic or nurturing, you grow and learn from it.
Exactly.
100%.
And even the ones that have fallen to the toxicity will start to go, oh, hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
There is kindness in this world after all.
When Emily falls ill, Miranda commands Andy to accompany the two of them to a charity benefit, where the two masquerade as partygoers while actually reminding her of important information about the people approaching her for greeting. At the event, Andy saves Miranda from being embarrassed by Emily, who had forgotten one of the names. She meets Jacqueline Follett, the editor-in-chief for French Runway, and Miranda's rival. Turns down an offer to meet a big publisher from Christian, but all the while misses her boyfriend's birthday party. So going into the scene, when they're walking up the steps, we have another thing about the food where Emily admits that she doesn't eat. Occasionally she'll have like a fucking cucumber or something.
Cube of cheese.
Or one cube of cheese.
Constant comments on body size.
Yeah.
See, to me, this is one of Andy's weaknesses. She should have said, I can't go. It's my boyfriend's birthday.
Yeah, we go back to not setting up boundaries.
Yeah.
This is one place where she should have been like, Emily's sick, but she's willing to go. You don't need me.
That plays on what I wrote down, which is that this section of the movie sort of symbolizes the completion of Andy's transition into one who has sold her soul.
Mm-hmm. Dark.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a tough point in her career for sure. And then when we get to the point where she saves Emily, she lets Emily stumble for a very long, uncomfortable.
I feel like that was bad writing / editing.
No, if I was
That moment should have been brief.
I'm going to let Emily stumble a little bit. She put
but she did.
She deserved it. She deserved it.
But she didn't act like that's what she was doing.
She let her stumble for long enough to make a point. You know,
I just thought my first thought after watching that scene was, how gross is it that this woman needs people to tell her who people are?
Right.
But then my second thought was, I wonder how many people Mark comes across on a daily basis and is just struggling to remember them.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
Speak
and
on
I
that.
brought that up to you too, where I was like,
You did?
when you have a certain amount of people and you're in a certain position, you have to delegate
Yeah.
to go, hey, remind me of who is who.
Here's the thing. When you're in like a sales position or a position where you meet a lot of people, it gets hard to keep up with those people. But the thing is, people get that. You can tell people that. You can straight up say, I'm sorry, I meet so many people day in, day out. That's all you got to do.
You don't have to take Miranda's approach.
Yeah.
Right. Own
Right,
up
take
to
the- I
yourself.
wrote down the
But
word
you look better if you look
Um,
better if you take Miranda's approach, where you're getting a little whisper in your ear to remind you.
That's true.
Well, I
You
promise
like
you,
that.
everybody that talked to her clocked that she's got 2 people there to remind her that everything's going
Yeah, they
on.
didn't get where they are.
They probably have two
She's
people
not
too.
fooling nobody.
100%.
In that
You're
position, do they
right.
not have 2 people too? I
That's
mean,
true.
if they're who they are
Yeah.
and who she is,
Yeah.
Like
they
the
got to.
French girl.
Yeah, if anything, they're like, she has 2 people. I only have 1.
One of them clearly sick and an idiot.
My biggest note from that whole scene was work-life balance of you have to remember where your priorities lie.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, like, if your priorities are for your career, you go for your career. And if that's where they lie. If these people that are your friends, they're your boyfriend at the time, if they're at this level, then, okay, you gotta let them go and move up.
And at what seems like, 22, 24 maybe, it should be in her career.
Yes. It should be more prioritized
Yeah.
a
You
little
notice
bit
there's also-
more.
You notice there's also a moment right there where Andy realized she's sort of surprised at her own ability.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
a
she
great
does.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that being said, Nate easily could have had a second birthday celebration.
Yep.
He acts like a fucking child in all of this.
I
And
feel his
we have
side personally. I do, because I've been jealous of not just like other women, but of time. So I felt a lot of this isn't fair that they're ragging on him, because I know personally I've gone through this. But then maturing and growing, you go, okay, now I see it.
But it's kind of messed up because she was at a party.
look,
But it wasn't the party
You-
she committed to.
Very ununderstood.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
you and I land on 2 entire opposite ends of a spectrum, the birthday spectrum.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't give a shit about my birthday party. You do.
Yeah.
I do.
I'll focus on me.
So and it's a fun dynamic, where you take the one side, you understand Nate's point of view, whereas I'm like, fucking, we could have had like a sidebar birthday
I
celebration.
was
We
gotta
with
talk
him
about
too.
birthdays.
you get 2 birthdays.
He
What's wrong
was
with that?
on the opposite end of me, and I'm like, no, I feel for the dude. And he was like, I don't. I see it. And I'm like, well, I guess that's where we oppose.
With the
Yeah.
boyfriend?
Right? Yeah.
No, I felt for the boyfriend. I really did.
Well, in our conversations, you were more
Well-
on the other side of saying, I'm starting to see why they're saying he's unsupportive, and I'm saying,
I
no,
did see
I
that.
don't see it.
I did see
he's
that.
super supportive.
I will admit that I am lucky, super lucky, in that I enjoy hunting, and my birthday happens to land on opening day of hunting season every fucking year.
And your wife has to put up with that. And does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
One time I heard she had a cousin that had a wedding on that same weekend, and I was like, I'm not fucking going to that. And that was a point of contention.
You pulled the birthday card.
I was like, it's my fucking birthday.
You
It's the
acted like
opening
a
season of
child.
your season. only day.
about birthdays all of a sudden?
Who cares about birthdays?
I said thank you 5 minutes ago. Not even. You were like, I don't give a shit about birthdays.
But that's the point I was making. Is I do empathize. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm not immune to I'm not 100% on the other side, so I get it. But in this situation, I feel like yes, Andy should have been better at setting up expectations. But let's play the cards that were dealt. She's not good at setting up expectations. Miranda insists that she comes because apparently getting sick is incompetence to her.
That's not good leadership.
It's not. So the people management here is garbage. But once she's there and she's made that decision and she's made the bed that she has to sleep in, you have this scene where Christian shows up, immediately holds the Harry Potter thing over her head.
Yeah.
Oh, he says, you still owe me.
No, he doesn't say that yet. He doesn't.
Yeah,
Not quite. In
that's
this
later.
scene.
That's
is
Paris.
Later.
That's in Paris.
But if she's able to pass up on the opportunity to meet a lot of big wigs
Yeah.
to further her career on the side of where she wants to go, she passes up on that to try to make up for her boyfriend. That's still missing it.
He says two terrible things and then does this other very shitty thing. He says, "Thank God I saved your job."
Yep.
Yeah.
He calls her boyfriend stupid.
Yeah.
The stupid boyfriend comment. And then he invites her back in after she's already leaving to meet his editor to get the job that she actually wants. And he knows that it's the job that she actually
carrot.
wants.
This
Holds that carrot over.
Yeah, he's dangling a carrot over her head for the favor that he did. And honey, any females out there listening, you don't owe that man nothing.
I agree.
True,
However, at this point, you already have to sleep in the bed you've made. You've already missed the birthday. Go your fucking ass back in there and meet the editor.
No, sir. That makes me so mad you think that. Edit that part out because I don't want to sound violent or everything.
No, leave it in. Self-development is good. I see that.
Self-realization?
Yeah, realization like, yeah, you've already made it this far. Go do your thing, girl. I would have made that decision. I would have gone back in and talked to who I needed to talk to. But the guy holding the carrot, that's some bullshit.
He's a jerk.
And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Fuck that guy, but also take advantage of that guy in this moment.
Yes.
This moment made
Use
me
your
angry
assets.
at Andy
Yes.
for falling for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That.
I don't think she fell for it.
in doing so, had she taken advantage of his bullshit in this one moment, she probably could have avoided Paris.
Yeah. No, I don't think she could have avoided Paris.
Okay, so back to Nate. Even if it wasn't his birthday, take the birthday out of the equation. I still think it's shitty that she took this spontaneous party with like the rich people and stuff to go to after she already committed to something with her boyfriend. I think that's shitty.
And then I started with that. She does a horrible job of setting up her boundaries. She already had something scheduled. She should have been like, no, I already have something scheduled.
So,
And she's sick, but she still says that she'll go. She's still going.
I think that's a part of the story development is that she didn't have one foot in one boat and another foot in the other boat. She had both feet.
No, she was fully bought in at this point.
100%.
Yeah.
And
that's where I'm at. Like, you're fully bought in. Stop pussyfooting around and go meet the editor.
Yeah, you can't jump back now.
It's a great.
go try to repair your relationship with your significant other. You done fucked up.
Look, I would agree had she come home and said, I fucked up. But she didn't. When she got home, it was like, we can still have a little sidebar celebration. She had the cupcake with the candle, And she even said, can we at least talk about it? And he didn't want to talk about it.
This is that point where I wrote down the boyfriend is letting the idea of anything mistreated override the fact that she clearly prioritizes this job.
And this is a point where the people that make the articles where they're saying that he's a bad boyfriend, this is the linchpin where they make their point.
Yeah. Clearly missing the Christian character.
I've been a bad girlfriend though, because I've been in his position, so I have to like empathize with him. But at the same time, if you are all feed in already, you have to follow through.
Yeah.
Because she already made her decision. She did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like,
she's already made the bed, sleep in it.
Yeah.
At this point, you know what I mean?
but at least own up to it. And I don't think
But
she owned up.
look, she came back and was like, "Can we at least talk about it?"
Yeah.
Nate didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, she didn't have a chance to own up to it.
Yeah.
He's had enough with her bullshit.
One evening, while returning the book, Miranda informs her that she needs the best team possible for her Paris trip, which means stepping over Emily. And he hesitates, as Emily has been boasting about going to Paris for months. From the very beginning, she made it very clear. But Miranda tells her that declining will send the message that she is not committed to her job or any future job at any other publication. So there's a veiled threat there. Faced with this threat, Andy accepts. The next day, Miranda then tells Andy to be the bearer of bad news to Emily, who meanwhile is hurrying back to the office after purchasing scarves from Hermes of Paris for Miranda. Just as Andy's about to tell her, Emily crosses at a no-cross point and is hit by a taxi. Andy has a rough day confronting Emily about Paris, and then at her friend Lily's art gallery, where she accepts a kiss on the cheek from Christian. Lily catches this and berates Andy to then confront her boyfriend about the fact that she's going to Paris. He realizes that they no longer have anything in common, and they break up. So
She breaks up with him.
this is where we have that first scene where Miranda dumps her shit on Emily's desk.
Yeah.
This is that turning point, right? And then let's talk about how wrong it is for her to delegate to Andy, Emily's subordinate, that she's not going to Paris.
Yeah,
But yes,
that's
but-
wrong.
but
Like,
A turning point. You just said it's a turning point. It is a turning point. And one of the reasons why it's a turning point is because the tables have kind of turned for Emily and Andy. In that, in the beginning of the movie, Andy was the one sort of running around getting all the shit for, the coffee, the bags of shopping, whatever,
Yeah.
So the tables have turned in that scenario, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. She makes it clear that, at this point you've eclipsed, you've moved up in the chain.
Exactly.
And that's kind of like, then here's your rite of passage. You have to do this fucked up thing, which is just wrong. She should have had a team meeting and talked to, first she should have talked to Emily in private and told her that, put her on a pit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ew, no. Ew.
A pit for being
I don't like
sick.
this.
Yeah.
No, she should have had a sidebar private conversation with Emily and then had a meeting where maybe in public she announces to everybody that Andy has been doing a great job and we're going to give her some additional responsibility and she gets to go to Paris with the rest of us.
That is exactly right.
That is,
You address the person first.
yes.
And in private.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you address.
And then in public, we can celebrate somebody's win,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's leadership. And that's people skills, and that's where Miranda really fails.
Yeah. I focused in on the breakup because of the controversy. I felt like they both needed to prioritize themselves in that relationship of where it was at. She was growing in a whole nother direction. Whether it be for good or bad was not really for him to determine or for us to condemn him. Because two people grow in two different ways a lot of the time. She was going one way, she was going another.
Well, he was static.
Yeah, he was stagnant. Still, but
that.
yeah, we don't know his backstory. Yeah,
No,
but-
he doesn't get a new job until they've already split up.
yeah,
That's true.
their relationship, he was stagnant, she was growing, and again, they were very young, so they weren't in that super committed stage, which isn't a big thing, especially in 2006 of like fully going in all the way all the time.
Right.
So-
She was losing her old version of herself, but when you do that, when you start to go through a change, you do burn bridges, and it's not just with their significant other, it's with your friends too. And she was
Especially if-
burning the bridges with her friends.
Especially if you sold your soul.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going down a path that
So-
they don't agree with. Yeah.
We in this breakup scene, we have our first free will conversation. Nate calls her out on the free will thing, where he says that she chose this,
Yeah.
and he's right.
Yeah. You
And
wasn't wrong.
but he backs that up by saying that she doesn't have integrity, and that's harsh.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
true.
So like while he had a point on the free will part and how she chose to change, he was whiny and petulant in
Yeah.
the way that he handled
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
I have to agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I was on his side, which is crazy that I was on his side, I was like, no, it's not that bad.
But he's right.
Yeah.
When he also calls her out on her failure to set boundaries at work, and he's right about
Where
that.
he is.
I want to just reiterate. I talked about this earlier, but I want to reiterate that this is the section of the movie where Emily gets hit by the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Emily gets hit by the
And
car.
then-
She
in
ends
the
up in the hospital,
Yeah,
and
in that scene,
Andy has to go to the hospital and tell her that
Right.
Yes.
she's going to Paris.
Yeah.
and in that scene, Emily told Andy, "You sold your soul." She
Yeah.
used those words.
Yeah.
And I think that the boyfriend sort of views it in the same way.
That's the whole point
And
here.
so that hints his
that
way.
unsupportiveness that the internet talks about.
Yeah,
And then you talk about it.
the writers tee it up with Emily saying, "You sold your soul. This is you're in this world. This is you now," and then they really drive it home with Nate calling her out on the free will part, where you chose this. This is all a choice that you made.
Yeah.
Multiple choices. She made.
And coming off of, I actually think that this is probably going to release to the public before the Devil's Advocate episode that we already recorded, but have not
That's kind of a
released.
shame, actually.
Well,
This plays off of it really well.
they do.
I guess that will play off of this really well.
Yeah, I mean, from our point of view, where we did Devil's Advocate and then we did this one, I am aware of all of this free will stuff because we got so deep into that in the Devil's Advocate.
You see the parallels.
Yeah,
I
and
did as well.
that I wouldn't have saw had we not done the Devil's Advocate first. However, here's the thing. I can look at like the metrics on YouTube of like who watches my podcast.
Yeah.
And it's like 90% men. And
Of course. That's why I brought her here looking like this, so that we could get some of that female audience that you
Oh
have.
my God.
I feel like it's more important that I go ahead and move this woman-centric story up in the queue and then hurry up and find another great one that we can tee up to try to keep it not so masculine.
Oh.
Like you need a woman's
Yeah.
touch.
I need, I need more of these. I need more of these. And so I want to move this up in the queue, get it out there to the public, and hurry up and find the next one and do it again.
The sweetest thing.
And really kind of, and instead of catering to the fact that 90% of my viewers are men, invite the women to come hang out
You
too.
need women, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
You need to pander, Mark.
that's exactly what I'm
I'm
saying.
not quite sure this would hit with the women's, but I want you to.
Look,
It's like so badly. I want you to touch on idiocracy.
I keep forgetting to tell you that.
She's suggesting that, and it's actually
Hold on.
1,000%.
Okay.
I like getting
Let's do it.
us saying we got to do it.
Let's come on the calendar. But backing up, you said, what did you just say?
I don't think it would touch on the woman's
Okay.
side as much, but for me, it does because I see it.
I think that there comes a point in Andy's character arc where she would have totally listened to this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like
Andy from
like
From the movie?
Yeah.
like early Andy would not have listened to this podcast. She didn't give a shit. You know,
Yeah.
she's trying to be a journalist.
Yeah.
You
this is
know?
a fun thought experiment.
But then once she starts to get into, you know, once she's been broken down and she turns into the you know, she accepts that she needs to change herself and accept high fashion. If instead of high fashion, we were talking about like moving up in the editor world and becoming a leader and a mentor.
Now-
Journalism world where
Yeah.
she wanted to be.
Yeah, or any world, there's parallels where this podcast can resonate with you. You know what I mean? So there, somewhere out there, there's an Andy, and it's not in the high fashion world. It's in any of these other worlds, but hopefully, it's in construction because that's where I shine.
Oh man, there's a bunch of Andys out there. I think.
But I would like to think that there are some Andys that are experiencing the same thing in the construction world that get broken down, accept the you know, that I have to learn all of this stuff and start picking up everything or start like looking up audiobooks and podcasts and they land on the Hard Knock University.
You've already sparked two ideas for obviously wrong in my mind, and I know we'll record a whole nother podcast, but I have to just put them out there. The wage gap. I feel like that's a great. You touched on that earlier.
Mhm.
I feel like that's a great topic for obviously wrong. And then what you were just not talking about is probably a great topic for obviously wrong.
There is a lot of women in the construction field that do share their feelings on the struggle that they have breaking into their role and basically doing what he's doing and how nobody respects them because they're women.
Right.
And it's like, that's bullshit. If you've had the experience, you should have the respect. But it's not the same for women. It's just not. Even if they have years of schooling, even if they have the years of experience of working under other men or whatever, and they're showing up men on a constant basis, they won't get that same level of respect from their authorities just because they have a B instead of a D. And it's kind of bull crap because there's a lot of women out there that are like,
Well,
you're great at this.
I think that YouTube will demonetize us if we say B. You can say D, but you can't say B.
Are you joking? Is that a joke?
I'm so glad they filmed it. Just vote for
I
it.
was purposely filtering myself.
I was like, wait, what?
That's great. V.
I was trying. I was purposely
Please don't say
filtering
B on my
myself.
podcast. The patriarchy won't have that. In Paris, Andy attends the shows and even meets designer Valentino Garavani, being introduced as the new Emily. One night, Andy comes into Miranda's suite only to find her in her bathrobe, undressed and crying. While deciding on a seating chart, Miranda opens up, saying that her husband is divorcing her. And again, the press would write rude things about her, such as career-obsessed woman who doesn't care for family, but that her biggest worry is for her daughters, who have lost yet another father figure. Later, Andy learns from Nigel that he has landed a job as creative director at fashion designer James Holt's new company. Andy has dinner with Christian, who figures out that she is single again. After a few glasses of wine, she succumbs to Christian's charms, and the two have sex.
My apologies. This is that bullshit time where he says, "You still fucking owe me."
Yeah.
So before we touch on that, because yes, it is bullshit. Nigel quote. I have a Nigel quote. Let me know when your whole life goes up in smoke means you're ready for promotion.
Exactly.
It's like, so when you're ready to sacrifice everything else, that's when you get to move up in this world. How messed up is that?
It kind of gives you insight to this place. Like, no one's happy outside of work.
Yeah.
They're all struggling outside of work.
Because they're so focused on their
But yeah,
career. And going up
we
there.
have this second and final time that Christian holds that Harry Potter thing with her.
Yep.
We have that scene that I was talking about where Miranda holds her hand out and has this great quote that is just so, man, I would hate for somebody to say this to me, but she says, by all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. While she holds her hand out. Oh, man.
That was great.
It's totally something you would say, but in this playful banter way.
I would be joking.
Yeah.
And she was not. But she opens up about her children. And again, I circle back to she's not necessarily a bad mom.
Yeah.
This is the scene where they really...
She tries. She doesn't try hard enough.
Yeah, this is the scene where they really try to humanize her and show vulnerability. Speaking of vulnerability, did you know, fun fact, I love the fun fact parts of these episodes, the no makeup in that scene was Meryl Streep's idea.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah,
I love it.
and I didn't read this part, but I theorize, or hypothesize rather, that that's because she wanted to show one moment of vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and character growth.
Character development, yes.
Yeah, where you do see softness, where you don't think you're going to, and then it's like, oh well, and I think Andy also starts to see the resemblance of where she's struggling with her and her relationship outside of work, relationships
This is
outside
very
of work,
reminiscent of that.
where she's starting to see,
Good call.
oh, she's going through it too.
Yes.
And then she develops a softer side for her boss as well.
It just goes to
Right.
show that that's real, and I think you can talk on this. That's real in that sometimes if you wanna be the best. I mean, if you're shooting for perfection, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to make some personal life sacrifices,
Well, sure.
and they don't have to be destructive.
Sure, but I just want to double back to Miranda plays the cards that she's dealt, just like any of the rest of us.
Yeah.
And when the divorce becomes a reality and she opens up, she makes it clear that one of her biggest concerns is the kids.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's important.
it takes away from the fact that she's kind of a narcissist.
Yeah, let her be a narcissist. That's you get that. That's her. That's who she is.
Yeah.
But she's not a bad mom.
Yeah.
She's just a different mom who we as peasants can't necessarily identify with.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well said.
Now, the Nigel situation. You have this whole "my work is done here" scene. They toast the dream job that again a million girls would kill for this job, and they toast to it that you have become who you've aspired to be, that a million other girls want to be. You know what I mean? Did everything right for the payoff.
Can I stop you for a real quick? My favorite quote that he said from there that stood out for me from this scene was, "For the first time in 18 years, I get to call the shots in my life."
That's a super important line.
That's super important. Where
Because-
it's like 18 years.
Yeah.
Wait, like what?
You get to see how long he's bought into this toxic work culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I just talked about sacrificing your personal life.
Right.
And
He's done it for 18 years.
And that's what I was saying. He said that I did everything right for this payoff.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, he is a victim
Yep.
of this toxic work culture. And you don't see it until that next scene where Miranda plays her cards.
Yeah. Which is why I still love him, no matter what.
But at that same quick scene where all this very important stuff happens, you have that quote where he says, "Bet your size 6 ass."
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm down 2 sizes."
That is nasty comment.
Which, I mean, I don't know how sizes work, but that feels, if you're a size 6 and you're down to a 4, isn't that 30%? Have you lost 30% of your...
So it's even sizes. That's one size. So it's like a 6 to a 4. That's one size.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 6, 8.
So it's 6. She's lost a 6 of her body mass. I
I
guess.
feel bad, Mark. I didn't even catch
Still alive.
chatty remarks. They went through my head.
Oh, I caught him. I go,
I
what
still
shows a
love
size
Nigel.
6?
I like him too. He was helpful.
So
He was.
Yeah.
He's a good friend.
then when
I also love Stanley Tucci.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes.
So then when Andy gets filled in on all this, and I can't remember who exactly she's talking to, but she's, they're talking about Miranda and her divorce. And Andy says that if she was a man, she wouldn't get all of this,
Calm you.
Like Miranda says that Rupert Murdoch ought to write her a check for how many newspapers she sold. And then Andy doubles down on that and is like, if it was a man, you would see all this. Not true. Since then, now, post 2006, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and of course, Musk has been through a dozen women, but Bezos and Gates have both had very high profile divorces, and the media very clearly took the women's side and dragged Bezos and Gates, and then Musk, and deservedly so. Musk especially so gets dragged through the media for his relationships with women.
But this is all post, like before. Did we see this type of media?
Right.
Because I don't feel like I saw this type of media before, even this, or even after this movie.
That's
really.
a great question, and I didn't look into it at all. My mind immediately went to Gates, Bezos, and Musk have all constantly get dragged through
That's
the media.
just recently.
So I wrote that in
We've
my
all
notes without
changed
doing any
recently.
research, but I should look into that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna write it down in my notes for post.
I hear that, I mean, I could be wrong, of course. It's just something I hear through the grapevine, but that's sort of reminiscent of how judges would treat the situation too, and like sort of a custody battle.
Yeah.
A man and a woman is like,
And-
it's generally going to side with the woman.
Yes.
This may be another, obviously wrong.
No, actually, generally, the judges with like custody and when it comes to children and stuff like that, they do side with the woman, which isn't always
justified?
bad.
You know, it's
Not always justified. Not always.
I think that's kind of goes into the fair play thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're a man. You don't have time for this kid. We're just going to give him to your mama.
Yeah. It is. It's,
I think that's the argument.
mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we have some unbiased, like, issues as women, but so do men, in a sense of depending on the matter, where men have been treated unjustly too. It's just so heavily. So it's like, where
More so.
is the line of
I get it. Yeah.
what's more? You know, and really, there's really not more, in my opinion. Everybody gets untreated,
We're all playing the
fairly.
cards
I
we
just
dealt.
want to be on record saying
fairly untreated.
we have it way fucking better than you guys,
Yeah.
and I feel it.
There you go.
I'm dead serious.
You're not misogynist.
I have been.
Misogynist.
People have labeled me as misogynistic,
Yeah,
but I
but you're
fancy
not.
myself a bit of a
You're not.
comedian sometimes. I just crack jokes.
I mean,
Some
I've
people
labeled
take it
you that
seriously.
once or twice.
Folks, we
Look, I was super excited about the patriarchy until I found out that horses weren't involved.
You have a good wife that made you watch the Barbie movie. Good for you, Zane.
In his hotel room the next morning while dressing, Andy finds out that Runway's owner is planning to replace Miranda with Jacqueline Follett. Surprised, she asks Christian about it, who confirms it, saying that Miranda has become old and that Jacqueline will bring fresh change to the magazine. Andy rushes to the door while Christian stops her, calling her baby, to which she replies that she is not his baby. Andy storms out to find Miranda and warn her. When Andy finally tells her, Miranda seems unfazed. At a luncheon in honor of James Holt, Miranda announces that Jacqueline will be the new creative director of James Holt's company, much to the surprise of Andy and Nigel.
So there's a lack of communication here.
Well, the big communication thing here is that there's some behind the scenes gossip that happens.
Yeah.
Andy becomes privy to information that she should not be privy to.
Gossip is a funny word to use for this situation.
She immediately takes the what I think is okay. I'm not going to put my opinion on it yet because I'm interested in y'all's. But she immediately goes and spills the beans to Miranda. Right thing or wrong thing?
Right thing. She's both feet in. She wants to be loyal. Be loyal.
It's a sense of loyalty. She has both feet on the boat. So it's definitely a sense of loyalty. Morally, yeah, I feel like it was the right thing because she does have still some more like internal morals that she's holding on to. Where she's like, she's gonna be devastated. This sucks. I've seen her softer side. She's already going through it right now.
Yep.
And this is going to devastate her even more.
Sure. Jen, what do you think?
So, right thing, genuinely, if you want to be petty, then wrong thing. But, but sometimes I feel like I want to be petty. Sometimes I feel I want to do the right thing. Her sense of loyalty definitely decides that for her.
Right.
And I don't blame her for it. I don't question it. I'm just like, okay, that's where you want.
What do you think, Jen?
I think she did the right thing by telling Miranda. I don't think her timing was great. I don't think she needs to like rush in and interrupt that meeting by any means. But I think her decision to be like, I've got to let Miranda know this is the right thing.
Yeah.
So, from a moral perspective, yes, it's the right thing to do. From a professional perspective, you keep your fucking mouth shut. You were
Explain.
you learn this through gossip,
And
gossip's a no-no in the first place.
Yeah,
You should,
true.
at the end of the day, you should have excused yourself from this conversation and shut it down before you even got
that
the
far.
information. And then once you had the information, you should have pretended like you had fucking never heard it and kept it to your fucking self. That is just the rules of the professional world.
Okay, can I interject?
From the moral point of view, yes, she was aware that Miranda was kind of, at this breaking point in her relationship and in her life in general. And she did the right thing morally. And when your professional morals and your actual, like, am I a good person morals conflict, always do the right thing as a human being as opposed to the right thing in the professional world. So
I like that.
It's a good lesson.
Andy did the right thing. HR would disagree.
yeah.
This is why you.
Nobody likes HR.
Yeah.
Right?
This is why when you were made privy to some gossip that maybe your boss had mingled with the client, you then went and told him, "Hey, buddy, there's some shit going around saying you maybe mingled with the
So
client."
we're super far away from this that I could talk about it. This was like 15 years ago. I worked for a company that I was
You were kind of the top project manager.
it was a small company. Anyway, I was doing a remodel. I was doing a remodel and wrapping up this project, and I think we were like, punch walk and closing it out, and like, you need anything else from me? And this homeowner opened up to me and said that, I just want you to know that your boss, the owner of the company, came and did a walkthrough, and he came on to me, and I didn't, she made it out like she had turned him down, and I was like, oh, okay. I need you to sign my punch list, and then I got to go. and then I went straight to my boss, the owner of the company, and told her what she told me in private, not in front of a bunch of people. And he kind of giggled and said, yeah, what really happened is she came on me, and I turned her down, and that was that. And he didn't elaborate, didn't go into what he thinks, her intention was in talking to me in the way that she did.
Sure.
But I assumed that she figured, we probably talk and that I would get wind of it, and she was trying to protect her reputation.
Damage control.
Yeah.
No.
And that's an assumption. I don't know that for sure.
The truth always lies somewhere in the middle between the two stories.
Yeah, sure.
So they might both be guilty of both trying to cover their asses.
And maybe he was flirty to her in previous, sales meetings and such, so he could get the sale. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Seriously doubt it. Me and Mark both know this man very well, and
yeah,
it doesn't seem like he would.
At the end of the day, when I hear the two different stories, I believe his story.
100%.
But I can be wrong, and you're right that the truth does always lie somewhere in the middle, and his version of events is certainly going to be skewed towards him.
Yeah.
And there's, maybe it's not 50-50 in the middle. Maybe it's a little to the side. I don't
40,
know.
60.
But yeah, that's an important thing. That is important.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have?
Sorry to bring that up. You can edit all that out. Sure, you have full control.
The last thing I have on my notes is that Andy said no 3 times before she ran out of excuses.
Yeah. Again, he pushes way too hard. You don't owe nobody nothing. Girls, come on now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that scene where
No, it means no.
they're on the streets of Paris.
Yeah.
She's circling the pole with her head back, and Paris is so beautiful, and
She's innocent.
he steps in and she runs right into him, and their lips connect, and then there's it reminds me of that Christmas song, "Baby, It's Cold Outside." Where she gives 3 different excuses of why she needs to go back to her own hotel room, and then says she's ran out of excuses, and he says, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's a typical kind of
Rom-com kind of bullshit. Yeah.
not just that. It's a typical thing that women go through. Though, like, hey, I did this for you. I bought you dinner. You owe me, a night at your house. What? No.
Yeah.
Like, I could have bought my dinner if I had known there was stipulations.
I got to
Like,
Quentin Tarantino
why?
for a second here.
Okay.
I got to go back to the scene where she's no makeup talking about her divorce. It's
Okay.
vulnerable. I saw that as a moment where Miranda shows extreme resilience, which is a big theme with leadership knocks. Because, she's going through a divorce, but she
Still focuses.
focuses in on work. It's still pushed through. And I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I see you over there.
don't see that as resilient.
Ooh.
I see that she digs
maybe.
in, and that's a coping
Denial.
mechanism.
That's like,
Well, I'm not gonna argue
I'm
that.
being vulnerable. I don't do that. Work.
I don't think it's. Well, a little bit denial, I guess. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism for some. Like I've done it where
It's denial
I
for sure, right? Like
I've
you said.
gone through some crap in my life that would, normally take somebody out for a while, and instead I had to focus in because of when it happened and how it happened. I had to focus in on business. I couldn't steer away because it would have derailed my life entirely. And it's like, I cannot change this. This is happening anyways. But I can change this if I lose focus. So like when my dad passed away, and then at the next day, the day that we were supposed to let him off life support, we had a truck drive through our thrift store building. that was I can't shift my focus. I have to dive back into work. And as much as I wanted to take the time to grieve, I couldn't at that time.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different for her because she is who she is. She
Right.
could have taken the time.
Great analogy.
But
Yeah.
some people don't get that privilege.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you...
It's a really good point.
It's a coping mechanism, especially with grief. And divorce is... when
Something
you're going
that you
through that,
grieve.
it's a grief.
100%.
Yeah. So diving into a project is
I feel like it's
just
something
one of
I would
those
do.
things.
If you divorced me, I would just pour myself into something to sort of
That's
You know,
not.
escape it.
I think
Right.
I think
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people that don't have hobbies bury themselves in work. I'm a songwriter, and I use poetry as a way to vent. And so you always know when I'm going through some shit because I'm writing music. You know, if I'm not writing any music, life is pretty good. You know what I mean?
It is sort of a way of like sort of wearing your emotions on your sleeves.
100%.
as they say.
Yeah. En route to another event, Miranda explains to a still stunned Andy that she knew about the plan to get rid of her all along, but she found an alternative for Jacqueline and presented the list. A list of all the designers, stylists, company owners, and models that were raised and nurtured by Miranda and who had promised their loyalty to her should she leave Runway. To the owner of Runway, who realized that without those people, Runway would suffer greatly and was forced to reconsider. So here's my question. Did she overplay her in? I mean, it worked for her in this, but like in the real world, if you like, I have this list of all of these people who are loyal to me and they'll all leave if you fire me. Yeah, it seems like overplaying your hand. Like, I don't think that's a real thing that works in the real world.
And only you're correct in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It only works.
I have actually seen it work in the real world. Unfortunately, I've seen it. You get some loyal employees that get stuck to a manager that lets them do whatever they want. Now, like, it's not quite the same with her, but I've seen it in a whole nother scenario. You get loyal people where you're kind of like, why are you loyal to them? Because they were ready to leave you. Like, they just up and quit their job, and now you're ready to give up yours just because you like them so much, because they let you get away with so much. Like, okay, are you ready to go try to find something else? I've seen it. I've actually been one of those where I lost a manager I liked a lot, and I was real loyal to them. And I was like, I ain't staying with this company anymore. And in the end, it was kind of like, did I mess up? Yeah, I kind of did. But so I've seen it firsthand. It does kind of play a part in the real world. She did overplay it, but my note in the whole scenario was like, that's why she was so calm in the situation of that scene.
Yeah, she had a contingency plan.
Yeah, she had, but she stayed 2 steps ahead. If that's not a good leader, to stay kind of ahead of any kind of issues that might arise.
Right.
You know, like, isn't that good leadership in a sense?
Okay, but let's revisit the first of our series for this season 2, where Dr. Evil, when things started to go crazy, number 2 immediately jumped ship and betrayed Dr. Evil. Is it not the same situation?
It is the same situation.
Yeah.
It's where your leadership is blowing up in your face, and your number 2 or your number 1, however you want to look at it, is bailing ship.
I'm not going to go down with you. Yeah. And I guarantee you, no matter which side of this you're on, you can't say that 100% of the people on that list would have stuck around.
It is different in that in the Dr. Evil situation, he's going down. Dr. Evil's going down. He's losing.
Yeah, it's a
In
spectrum.
this one, it's a little different because
Yeah, she's not necessarily losing.
Is this not a point where her project management sort of shines?
No.
Sure, but my point here is that it's a spectrum. You have this list, and we see it. There's 2 columns of names. So that's a lot of fucking names. or 2 columns on one page.
Yeah.
Good point.
But of that, you're going to have some people that immediately are like, yeah, I'm loyal as shit. I'm going with Miranda. Some people that are like, fuck that bitch. And then other people that are like, man, I don't know how to play my cards, but I'm going to tread lightly on this and see where the smoke settles so that I end up on the right side. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
In her situation,
it works in the movie,
Yeah.
but in real life, that's a fucking bold move to be like, I have this list of all these people that are going to go with me if you shit can me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a
Also-
bold move. It does happen, though. It really does.
No, you're right. I get that. I 100% agree with that. But additionally, you got to remember that these are the kinds of jobs that 1 million girls would die for. So you take all of those people on that list and put their job title there instead of the actual name, and it's a real fucking replaceable list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really easy to
I
fill
can
those
see
in
that.
with very competent people, and which might actually be a good thing. You know what I mean?
Now, sometimes the loyalty is unfound.
Yeah.
That's true
You're
too.
like,
I've
well,
seen
you're
that.
okay, it's just because you got, or like you did a favor, or there are reasons that some of those loyalties lie.
Now that being
Yeah.
said, we have that same scene where she announces that, oh no, it turns out Jacqueline is gonna go to work for old dude. Well, that crushes Nigel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Nigel thought that he had that job, and this is all news to him.
That was messed up.
And he says, when the time is right, she'll pay me back. Where Andy says, are you sure about that? He says, no, but I have to hope.
Yeah.
That is so toxic.
Yeah.
He's such a victim of this toxic work culture and just stuck in it 18 years
Yep.
since he's been able to make a decision for himself.
Yeah.
And
He copes with it by using sarcastic humor.
Yes.
yeah.
That's true.
Now let me ask you
Which is a
this.
coping.
Put yourself in Nigel's shoes and assume that he's on that list of Miranda's. When the shit hits the fan after she's done that to him, and if she's done that to him, she's done that same sort of thing to other people on that list. How many people are really gonna
How many are going to
take her side after knowing, you know? And not only the ones that have experienced it firsthand, like Nigel, but the people that are in the know and that saw what happened to Nigel. You know
Like,
what I mean?
Yeah, it's like in the real world, she would have created way more enemies.
Well, it's such a destructive, that whole
They
thing.
kind of point on that in the beginning, like how many people know how shitty she is.
Yeah.
yeah.
So she did create those enemies, but yet she has this list of loyal people.
Do y'all
It's
remember
like,
this quote?
Okay.
Truth is, no one can do what I do but me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all about positive affirmations,
Right.
but that's just gross.
Bro, I got a GPT that can do what you do.
Yeah.
And I
They
think,
didn't.
and you cost $1 billion a year. This thing costs me $20 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think she overplayed her hand. But in this story, it worked out. Miranda also says that she was pleased by Andy's display of loyalty and that she sees a great deal of herself in her. Andy says she could never do to anyone what Miranda did to Nigel. Miranda replies that she already did in stepping over Emily. Miranda tentatively comforts her, saying that those choices are necessary to live the life that she lives. At the event, Andy gets out of the car and simply walks away. When receiving a call from Miranda, she throws her phone into the fountain on the Place de la Concorde. And back in New York, she meets her boyfriend for breakfast. He has accepted an offer to work as a sous chef in a popular Boston restaurant, and he's disappointed, but her hope is rejuvenated when he says they could work something out.
Okay, how the fuck does this work out? Before you started reading that particular section of the synopsis, you said, but in this case, it works out. Excuse me?
Well, Miranda by playing,
With the list.
by overplaying her hand.
Yeah.
Oh, with the
It
lid.
did backfire.
It worked out for her in the end. Yeah.
Because a lot of times in the real world, if you ever play your hand, that's going to blow up in your face.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But in this case,
Okay.
it did not.
what I'm saying is, do not take the Miranda Priestly playbook
Yeah.
for that particular play. It's not going to work out the way you think it's
Right.
going to work out. So Miranda's free will speech in the limo. This is we already had like a pre-free will speech with her and her boyfriend. Now we're basically having the same thing with her boss. It very much mirrors that same free will speech in The Devil's Advocate, where you did all of this. You bought in, you accepted this. I broke you down, sure, but you built yourself up. I didn't build you up. You built yourself up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which there's some truth to that, but it's kind of bullshit. There's tons of manipulation involved. Context matters, right?
Well, we get into that the devil made me do it thing. No, the devil didn't make you do that damn thing. You made decisions.
Yes, you made decisions, but you were influenced, and the influence part matters. No?
Sure, but that's the brilliance of the devil.
It's like the whole Trump thing. Did Trump influence it?
The devil never plays your hand for you. You have the choice to fold or play your hand.
Yeah, so the January 6th crowd.
The devil just makes sure that you think that playing your hand is going to pay off. Where are you getting off with the January 6th crowd?
I'm saying so like Trump is the devil, and he's manipulating that group of people.
Sure.
To go right.
Sure. That they made that decision.
Yeah.
That's on them.
So you're saying Trump has nothing to do with that?
No.
No.
I mean, the devil's still evil at the end of the day.
By the way, I am not taking any sides on this.
But the devil made me do it is not going to fly in court.
Right. You can't.
Well, I'm not arguing that.
Choices.
In the court of law,
We're all about owning up to your choices.
in the court of law, every single one of them fuckers went to jail, and it wasn't until Trump got back in the presidency that he absolved them all. But Trump went to court. I think that particular one got dismissed. The stuff he actually got convicted of was completely unrelated to that particular thing. In the court of law, maybe not in the court of public opinion, but the court of law, Trump didn't do anything wrong on January 6th.
Yeah. I have no opinion. I just saw a parallel and wanted to point it out.
Yeah. But it holds. You made a choice to kick that window in. Oh, it was the guy in front of you that kicked the window in? You made the choice to follow him in.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Exactly.
I do.
Accountability.
But yeah, Miranda tells her that you chose to get ahead. And she did. She did.
Nope.
She 100% did.
Bill.
I have a note in here where it says Miranda has herself convinced she's leaving the dream, where she's told Andy everyone wants this.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's something Miranda has to tell herself at night to sleep. Like when because I feel like she probably has nights where she's like, my marriage is falling apart. I don't spend enough time with, but then she's like, you know what though? I'm fine. Everybody wants what I'm good. I'm doing the right thing.
And if I'm not doing it, somebody else is going to do it. No,
Yeah,
it better
it'll be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bet Andy had a pretty damn good time in Paris after she quit and walked away.
Yeah.
And ditched her phone. She's got no phone. She's in Paris. She's clearly making enough money to afford some threads. She probably had a pretty good time in Paris off the leash. And then in their final scene in the diner, Nate says that, you did it for shoes and jackets and belts. Again, he's unsupportive.
Yeah, he missed the mark there. It was like, no, that's not what she did it for.
Exactly.
He's 100% unsupportive to the very end.
Right.
But you got to give her credit in that she's not trying to come crawling back to him.
Yeah.
She's she's like,
sorry.
if we can, let's resolve this. And they kind of like leave it ambiguous.
The story never gets resolved.
It doesn't. But at the end of the day, I think breaking up was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with
I feel
that.
like-
Because they grew and you say stagnant, she grew.
Yeah, they're young.
They were young enough. They were not 100% committed. There was nothing that showed they were 100% committed.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong.
It was a rough year.
Yeah, with them figuring out who they were as their selves.
Right.
And then going, oh, we don't belong together, right? At least right now.
All four of us was at one point serious with one person, and then ditched them, and then we now have each other. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Andy goes to an interview for a newspaper job. The interviewer reveals that Miranda told him that she was by far her biggest disappointment, but that if he did not hire her, he would be an idiot. Afterwards, Andy calls Emily while walking past the runway office and offers to send Emily all the outfits Andy got while in Paris. Emily feigns imposition, saying the clothes will absolutely drown her, but she accepts.
They still had to just get one more dig and find Hathaway back. That makes it so memorable.
Yeah. After the call, Andy sees Miranda getting into her car across the street. They exchange looks, and Andy smiles at her, but Miranda acts as if the two are strangers, which Andy takes in good grace. Once in the car, Miranda smiles slightly before curtly telling her driver, "Go."
Like,
So,
what
yeah.
are you doing?
This is
Why are we
another
still
case.
here?
This is another case where Miranda has a backhanded comment.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The disappointment.
but
Yeah,
She's
sure.
disappointed because she doesn't have her anymore.
Exactly.
sure, but certainly the best one. It's a good reference.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Emily doesn't really come around until Andy gives her clothes from Paris, you know. There's really a static character. It's not until, the very end she gets clothes from Paris, and then she tells Andy's replacement, you have some very big shoes to fill. Which,
Another backhanded comment.
Yep.
And I think I disagree with you
100%.
because in the hospital, she is upset that she doesn't get a trip to Paris.
Yeah.
And that she's like, this isn't what you originally wanted, da-da-da-da-da. But you still kind of have noticed, in my opinion, that she did see her for who she was. So you see that softness, that like, oh, you did change. You're kind of a bitch for changing.
yeah.
But she's part of the reason she changed.
Yeah, but it's crushed by her anger that she didn't get to go to Paris and that Andy's going to Paris. Also, did we talk about Emily's eating in the hospital? Like the first time
Oh,
she
yeah,
actually
no, she
eats?
was
Ravished for that.
for the girl who eats cards, so she shoves a roll in her mouth.
She was hell-bent on... She had both feet in on that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Anne Hathaway in the beginning did not.
Well, yeah.
That's her place in the movie, right? She was the one who was right for that position, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she was all in, both feet in. She knew the outfits well, right?
But she couldn't do it alone.
Sure, but she didn't survive the burnout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Miranda did not accept her.
Well, she could not do it alone.
In those kinds of
Why
work
they
cultures, people get burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
They have unhealthy eating habits. They drink to excess. They do drugs. You see this not just in the fashion industry, but in working in restaurants and working in construction. It's a real thing, and it's in multiple Wall Street.
Smoke breaks. How much did smoke breaks piss you off?
Sure. But the point is that you have all these unhealthy coping mechanisms when you have these high intensity toxic work cultures. And this movie is a great example of all this. Does anybody have anything else about the plot before we jump into our Hard Knock leadership and project management breakdown?
No, but I do have a question on the plot. What is the hard knock lesson? I have one.
What you got?
Sometimes you don't reach perfection, but when you shoot for it, you land at greatness. Shooting for perfection, we saw in this movie, it can be troublesome. It can blow up in your face, as it did for Miranda. But there's lessons in that. There's lessons in everything, as you state.
It's a good one. I like it.
So, if you're going to shoot for perfection, You may not reach it, and you're probably not going to. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
But you may hit greatness, you know?
I dig it. All right. So the way we do this is, if on a scale from 1 to 5, we kind of talk about, their leadership and project management skills.
Mm-hmm.
I've broken Miranda Priestly down into leadership, project management, people management, crisis management, and execution and results. So from a leadership point of view, I'm going to give her a 3 out of 5. She has this gift of getting brilliant work out of the people that work for her, whether they're ready for it or not. She'll break you down and build you up until she gets brilliant work out of you. Her expectations are high, but her leadership style causes burnout. Her teams get results, but the mental and emotional and physical costs are too high. So 3 out of 5.
I did put in my notes as one of her good leadership traits is that she sets high expectations of her employees.
Yep.
I think that's a great, she expects excellence out of everybody at our company.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's a bad thing, but like you said, I think the way she executes it is not great.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have to agree with that. That's kind of the same notes I took.
Mhm.
Like, my expectations and high standards are good goals, but execution matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all are. This is another case where it's like, everybody's just immediately touching on the reasons why I rank how I rank. Miranda is great at both project management and leadership, but where she lacks that extra point to get the 5
Mm-hmm.
is in that toxic work environment.
Yeah, the people management part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on project management, I gave her a 4 out of 5. She runs projects with military precision.
Mm-hmm.
Every milestone is met and every detail is accounted for, but there's no flexibility. That's just not her strong suit at all.
That's true.
But if you need flawless execution, she's going to get it done. You just don't want to have to be one of her henchmen.
Yeah.
Which is
You're the on
really
the other side.
it's really an echo of a lot of villains we've talked about.
Yeah.
I feel like, as far as villainess, she's kind of a Maleficent. I feel like she had a nurturing side to her too. It's hard to see it, but if you look closely,
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
On people management, I give her a 2. She does not lead with empathy, but that doesn't mean that she's fully unaware.
Yeah.
She knows people's limits. She just doesn't respect those limits, and she doesn't coddle people at all. She's not a coach. She doesn't give pep talks. You will get better,
Yeah.
or you will work somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's that's her people management skill. It's not healthy, but I don't like it. I give her a 2.
I think that she teaches people. I said this earlier. She teaches people in spite of how she is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's intentional.
I see what you're
teaches people.
saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Some people maybe need to be broken down so they can be rebuilt.
Yeah, that's very true. That's probably very true. That's not
people,
zero
not
people.
all people.
Yeah, but it's not all people.
Yeah.
And
And it's not how you should treat people, generally.
Know your audience.
so I thought it was kind of interesting and such a power move how her workplace was so toxic, but she never yelled.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a
That
comment
was
on that.
kind
So
of
check this out.
like,
My research. So she picked that up from Clint Eastwood.
oh.
So Clint Eastwood on set. She said this in like the View
Uh-huh.
interview or something. She said that Clint Eastwood on set never raised his voice. He always sort of spoke to it softly. But
Was
he's
very
in a
clear.
position where you had to listen to him. So it was like created this environment where anytime that person spoke, you had to sort of lean in and grasp what he's saying.
Mhm.
It's a power move.
Mm-hmm.
It's their
Power
start.
move. It's like a sort of an ironic way of commanding the space because
Right.
normally you would want to be sort of bust or whatever, you know.
Or you always hear my boss yells at me all the time, or yelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
He takes the opposite approach.
And I've been there where I've had a boss. I've had an interaction with a boss where I walked away and was like, I got yelled at today. And then, you know, people are like, nobody yelled, you know, and it's like, yeah, okay, fuck you. Technically nobody yelled, but, you know, at the end of the day, I was chastised. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I felt that. It's like, oh, I was gonna tell what I did wrong. And it felt like getting your ass chewed out. But I didn't actually get my ass chewed out.
It is the worst way to receive a sort of a burn or something. Softly, not aggressively.
But at the end of the day, it's the right way to do it from the leadership point of view. In crisis management, I give her a 4. Miranda thrives in high stakes environments.
Yeah.
That's her lane. And when things go sideways, she remains composed and commanding. You were just talking about this. And she brings order through her presence, even though there's no pep talks. You know what I mean? Just her presence is enough. So, 4 for crisis management. What do you guys think?
I think that.
I do agree with that. She's a very good frontman for the company.
Yeah.
Like if she's under pressure, you would never know it.
Yeah. Yeah, it handles it with grace. That was one of my notes.
And then my final one is execution and results. I gave her a 5 out of this one. You can question her tone, you can question her tactics, but you can't question the results that she provides. She executes with relentless consistency. For her, success isn't optional, it's the standard.
Yeah.
You know?
I gave her a 4, and here's why. Because at what cost? Everything you said is correct. I fully agree with it, but at what cost? She lost her number 2. She lost... Well, I guess there is the argument that she's all of those things without Andy.
She didn't lose her number 2. She double-crossed her number 2 to keep her original team intact except for her assistant. She lost her assistant.
She double-crossed more than...
Which is literally like the lowest person on the totem pole.
She double-crossed Nigel also.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if anybody's her number 2, it's Nigel.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for saying that. There's scenes in the movie that show that. There's like a boardroom scene where Nigel makes a suggestion, and it's like the only moment where she's like,
Gandalf.
Hey, yeah. If you're playing the drinking game at home, go ahead.
Yeah, Nigel was definitely her number 2. Andy was not.
Well, okay, so when I say number 2, I am meaning Andy. And I'm saying, you know, that she in this moment she lost her fucking...
She's replaceable.
Right. I think
she's replaceable, yes, but
that goes back to people management, and we're talking about execution and results.
Yeah.
And she executed, and she got the results.
Yep.
I give her a 5 for that. All in. So leadership 3, project management 4, people management 2, crisis management 4, execution and results 5. That comes out to an average of a 3 out of 5 for her final grade. She's cold as ice, she's sharp as steel, and undeniably effective. She's an agent of chaos, much like the Joker. If you were to put her on a construction site, she'd still own the ring.
Joker's somehow nicer than her.
No.
Yeah, he is. He compliments Harvey Dent. You know.
Yeah. Look.
No. Hey, listen. Bring up great.
She didn't need compliments.
Look. Miranda's not a good leader.
4 and 4 for me. Leadership and project manager. 4 and 4. I'm not giving her that extra point because of those little things like, you know, you're just toxic. You're just fucking... And you can't be a good leader and be toxic. The two things can't exist at the same time.
So overall, I'm at a 3, you're at a 4. What do you got?
I think she's a good leader.
A scale of 5.
A 4.
Trixie?
I'm not a dog stinger. But her people skills do. I mean, that's what drops it. That's what drops. But everything else, and then, I mean, again, I kept saying her softer side that nobody else keeps seeing. So for me,
No, I give her credit for being a good mom.
yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, Miranda's not a good leader, but she is a force of nature. She's not going to be your mentor. She won't hold your hand, but she'll push you to levels of excellence that you didn't even know you were capable of. It's kind of like boot camp. She's going to break you down. Some people will wash out and not survive, but then, you know, she'll build in you the kind of resilience and precision and confidence that no MBA program is going to teach. But make no mistake, if you're not excellent, you are expendable. That's Miranda Priestly's leadership and project management style in a nutshell.
Spot on.
Drop the mic.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is my beautiful wife, Jen. I love her very much. Thanks for having her. Thanks for having her on the show with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Seth's beautiful wife, Trixie.
Oh, no.
Likewise, thank you for coming on the show.
This was great.
And then, of course, you know, my sidekick, the Robin to my Batman.
The Nigel to your Miranda
The
Priestly.
Yeah.
More sidekick than producer.
Wow. And I'm Mark Caples. Hey, guys, one last thing. The paperback is available. It's out there. It's half the price of the hardback of the Hard Knock School of Project Management. So if the tuition is what's kept you from joining the Hard Knock University, now's the time to do it because it's half price. I'm Mark Caples, and I'm Rick.